change. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
Now here is Seth Jarvis for Carolina. Coming in on top to Jarvis. Deeks, what a goal! Seth Jarvis with a quadruple deke. And the Canes go up 1-0 in the shootout. Milano wide to the right, drifting back in. Milano waiting, back in. Bussey ends it with the save. Dear Bussey becomes the first goalie in NHL history with 10 wins in his first 11 games played.
10-1.
I think we are at the point where we can move on from Brandon Bussey as awesome story, wow, cool moment, to he's your dude now.
He should be.
I think we're at that point where it's Brandon Bussey's no longer, wow, this is a really, really cool story. It can still be a cool story, and we just go to, yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy right now. I don't know if he'll be the guy in January, February, March, April. I don't know. But right now, he's your dude. And it's no longer just a cool story. Now it's okay, we know who our guy is.
I love that feeling, too.
Know who that, I mean, just.
Because as Canes fans, you know, we've kind of had ups and downs with our goalie situation, even though we love our guys, but not very consistent sometimes.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. By the way, it's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Vodenecker producing the show. As always, by the way, coming up on the show today, coming up here in about a half hour, I had a conversation on Wednesday with Ickey Ekwonu, the starting left tackle for the Carolina Panthers. Now, again, this was on Wednesday before the result of last night's Thursday night football game, which, you know, Panthers fans were locked into the result of that one.
Heck yeah, we were.
Don't you worry. We're going to dive into that. So, by the way, coming up at 12:30, you're going to have a conversation that I had on Wednesday with Ickey Ekwonu of the Carolina Panthers. North Carolina football is making some changes. There's a big-time college basketball game in the Triangle with NC State taking on Kansas, so we got a lot to get to. Let's go ahead and get this sucker started.
Let's get it started in here.
Let's start with a 3-2 shootout win last night in the nation's capital. The Carolina Hurricanes taking down the Washington Capitals. And by the way, which was just an absolutely fantastic hockey game.
Yeah.
Just watching the game. It was just a great hockey game. Two evenly matched teams, both played overall pretty well. Thought Carolina controlled the first two periods much more than the Washington Capitals did, but Washington, being a really good team, flipped things around in the third period in their favor. But the theme of the night was, as a team, don't worry, folks, we're going to get into the Brandon Bussey of this all. But in the game as a whole was just sticking with their game and just sticking with what they do well. That was the message that we heard after the game from folks in the locker room, including the head coach, Rob Brennemore, summing up the win against Washington.
It's kind of up and down. We played great for two periods. I mean, should have had, I think, a few more. I think we had a few goalposts there. Like, we were really on it. And then, you knew they were going to have that push. That's why it would have been nice to have a couple more in there, because then here they came, and we kind of were on our heels the whole period. But give the guys a lot of credit. We found a way to, tie it up, and then, our goaltending was just great tonight again. So that allowed us to, pull it out.
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
Yeah.
They stuck with their play, and I thought the right lines got rewarded last night. We'll dive here into Stankoven and Ehlers and Jackson Blake. That line was absolutely outstanding last night. But the team in the third period saw, the Canes, that is, saw Washington after a power play opportunity for Washington. Though Washington didn't score on that power play, they generated momentum off of it, and they really started to flip the game in their favor. Carolina was stuck in their own end a lot. They weren't generating a lot of scoring chances, but they continued to play through it. Even though they fell behind 2-1, and Jordan Martinook after the game said the team didn't deviate from their game.
Yeah, I think you look at those first 2 periods, we were pouring it on and we were getting a ton of chances, and then when you're tied, you're like, okay, well, you just obviously you got to try and stick with what was making us successful there in the first 2 periods, and then they started kind of pushing back, and then they get the goal, so you're a little worried. But then I think after they scored, it was almost like a little wake up call in the third. And we stuck with it from there, and I think that's a great win to get, knowing that if you kind of stick with your games, good things are going to happen.
They were awesome last night. As a whole, I thought it was the best game that we've seen Keandre Miller play in a long time. Certainly some great scoring chances. I think it was in the second period, the Canes hit 3 posts.
Yeah. It's
just been unkind. Actually, I know Trip Tracy during the broadcast yesterday said I think Carolina leads the NHL in post hit this season. It's like, well, no wonder they're not scoring. They're hitting iron.
Yeah.
Eventually, I think we'll see when some of those just start to go. Then it's be like, okay, like we'll see the uptick in scoring. I don't think it's necessarily their style of play is going to change. It's more or less you're just going to get the puck luck go your way. And if history tells us eventually those things start to go your way. Water finds its level. The best line of the night last night was the line of Logan Stankoven, Jackson Blake, and Nikolai Ehlers. That trio was absolutely outstanding last night.
Guess who picked Ehlers to be the first goal scorer of the
I
Canes?
believe that was you.
And guess who picked them? Who couldn't decide between the first and second period?
My guess is that was you,
Yes.
Victoria.
I even have it in text form to Tim, the afternoon guy.
Yes.
That's always
a little
it's on
fun game.
brand.
A little fun game we do here. 99.9 The Fan is the flagship station for the Adam Gold Show, and the host of the afternoon show, Tim Donnelly, which the show I normally produce. We do a thing called First Goal Scorer Prediction. We got to predict for that game who's going to score the first goal for the Canes, and also in what period as well. So I had Eric Robinson in the first period.
Nice.
I did not get that answer correct, but nonetheless, a win is a win. And that line of Stankoven, Ehlers, and Blake, as well as they've played throughout this season, or at least especially of recent, they just haven't necessarily gotten the puck to bounce their way. I know Jackson Blake had the big game against the Nashville Predators back on Saturday, where he had a pair of goals and an assist. Nikolai Ehlers had a goal and a pair of assists in that game as well. So you saw it in that chunk in that game, but as a whole, they just haven't been able to find the back of the net. But last night, they generated both goals. And Rob Brittamore talked about the play of that line, but also the play of Nikolai Ehlers.
Well, they were really good. I mean, Fly was really dynamic tonight. I mean, he was all over it, creating a lot of opportunities for his line mates. They were good too, but I thought he might have been the best player out there tonight.
Yeah, among their skaters, yeah. Nikolai Ehlers was outstanding last night. The way he was able to control the puck, use his speed, and also just create opportunities for his teammates, he was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The play of the night was the tying goal where Jalen Chatfield in transition, knocking a puck out of midair at the defensive blue line for Carolina, getting the puck up ice to Ehlers, tries to send one over to Jackson Blake, who had a nice net drive. The puck pops over to Stankoven, who scores his first goal in 14 games, which I was like, man, it's really been 14 games since Stankoven has scored? Because his game's been good.
Yeah.
Just hasn't been able to find the back of the net. But overall, outstanding game. Also, another fantastic play in overtime came from Keandre Miller, a guy I mentioned earlier. Washington's coming down on a 3-on-1. A 3-on-1 in overtime. And it's Sebastian Aho back there like Jon Snow with the stampede coming at him. Just sword drawn. Just, all right, I got to try and defend this. But then Keandre Miller on a back check gets his stick in a passing lane and breaks up a scoring attempt. And then Seth Jarvis scores the goal in the shootout, the one that the Carolina Hurricanes needed. It was absolutely outstanding. But Victoria, this is where the real story of not just last night, but of this season took over.
Yeah.
I'll say it again in case you're just tuning in. At what point are we moving on from the Brandon Bussey, wow, this is a cool, fun story, to, hey, this is the guy we're going to ride with for a team that is trying to win a Stanley Cup and is good enough to win a Stanley Cup? that is now the story is going to evolve. Not just from awesome moment, and by moment I'm being like this early part of the season, like fun moment, because in the grand scheme of things, it is. At what point are we going from awesome moment to, okay, that's our dude? And I think last night, he proved that he can do it. So a big test for Brandon Bussey earlier on this season, just a few weeks ago, was, okay, let's see how you handle starting back-to-back games. Sure enough, that second game of the back-to-back, he gets a shutout 1-0 in overtime win. By the way, Nikolai Ehlers with the game-winning goal. Gets a shutout. So, okay, he's handled back-to-back starts. Not on back-to-back nights and consecutive nights, but just back-to-back starts, a day off in between. All right, let's see how you do it again. Back-to-back starts. When you have 3 healthy goaltenders, we're going to come back to you to start back-to-back games, but also at the same time, that second game, you're going to go on the road to Washington.
No pressure.
One of the best teams in the NHL, which, by the way, also is ahead of you in the Metropolitan standings. Go on the road, back-to-back starts. Let's see how you handle it. And he was phenomenal last night, including making big stops on the best goal scorer in NHL history, Alexander Ovechkin, and Brandon Bussey talked about getting some big stops on the grade 8.
Yeah, it's cool. I actually played him in preseason last year when I was with Boston, so I guess that starstruck feeling, or the feeling of wow, you're playing against him, wasn't as bad today. But he's obviously scored a lot of goals. The puck goes on his stick; it's pretty lethal. So we did a good job for the most part of minimizing it.
He was up to the task. Including some big saves in the third period when you needed it most in a tight hockey game. I mean, that's the kind of hockey game that you'll probably see in the playoffs. I mean, I'm not going to say it's playoff hockey because obviously, I don't want to say that's what it was last night. But for a regular season game, it's pretty damn close as it gets. And he was up to the task. And he was asked about, hey, you've won 10 games and 11 starts. No goalie in NHL history has ever done that. I'll say it one more time. No goalie in NHL history has ever won 10 games in their first 11 appearances. Not a single one. Brandon Bussey sits atop as the one. And here's his reaction to that hot start.
Yeah, we're playing good hockey, so it's nice to be a small part of it, coming up when I'm needed. But ultimately, we're playing really good hockey. It makes my life easy.
Now quit being so humble. You're the man right now, Brandon. You're the man.
Wear your crown.
But I think it also speaks to the demeanor. What we hear from head coach Rob Brindamore and some others regarding this, and Jordan Martinook as well. But one thing that, Victoria, let's pull up the cut of Brandon Bussey talking about the fun that he's having. So he was asked by Hannah Yates of FanDuel Sports Network after the game about Paul Schoenfelder, the goalie coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, said, yeah, Brandon Bussey's he's having fun every single day. And you could probably say, well, yeah, you should be having fun. You're in the NHL and all that stuff. But there is the business aspect of this as well. And Brandon Bussey was asked about still having fun every time he goes out and plays.
Yeah, I think it helps take away the nerves, I guess. I feel like I don't get too nervous in games, but being appreciative every day, having fun, this is what you dream about as a kid, right? Just go out there and trust what you've done to get there, That's kind of all I really do.
Along those same lines, his teammates are embracing him. They really are. His teammates are embracing him. And actually, Jordan Martinook spoke after the game about Brandon Bussey finally getting his chance at the age of 27 to be in the NHL.
Yeah, I think you're just happy for your teammate. He's just a great guy and brings a ton of energy. He's always smiling, and I think when it takes somebody that long to get here, to get his opportunity, and then when he goes and runs with it, you just appreciate those guys that much more because they know how much it means and how hard it was to get there. So just pumped to watch him do what he's doing, and it's been fun to play in front of him.
The fact that his teammates recognize, hey, look, this guy grinded his way for years to get this opportunity. And there's a guy that sits pretty much directly next to him in the locker room in Jalen Chatfield. Very similar background. Didn't get a full-time shot in the NHL until the age of 26 at Jalen Chatfield. Actually didn't make his NHL debut until he was 24, but actually became a full-time NHL player until he was 26 for Jalen Chatfield. Just needed that opportunity to prove it. And Brandon Bussey, I think that's kind of a thing that all of us want in life, is that, you know, we want a promotion, we want an opportunity at a job. Hey, you know what? Give me an opportunity, and if I do well with it, if I prove it, just give me a chance to prove myself. If I fumble the opportunity, then that's on me. I can live with it. Because at least I had an opportunity. That's all anyone asks for. And that's what Brandon Bussey, I'm sure, wanted his whole life. Just, you know what? Give me a chance at the NHL level, and I can show what I can do. And it's not just a one good start or a couple good back-to-back games or whatever it might be. It has been consistently making the timely save, making the big save against top-end teams. Washington being the most recent. And Rob Brindamore, the head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, talked about this historic run by Brandon Bussey.
Love making history in that form, but just when you get to know him, the story, and then such a great kid, and he's really earned every minute of this. So obviously we hope it continues, but it's been a great ride here so far.
Yeah, you hope it continues, because right now he's A1. Right now he's A1. I would not be surprised. The Carolina Hurricanes tomorrow are at Philadelphia taking on the Flyers, and they're back home on Sunday at the Lenovo Center taking on that same Philadelphia Flyers team. I would not be surprised. Would not be surprised if Bussey starts on Sunday. I would not shock me one bit, even though you have Freddie Anderson healthy and you have Pyotr Kochetkov healthy. Bussey's 10-1. 10-1.
Ride the hot hand.
Yeah. 10-1. Ride the hot hand. You heard Victoria Vodnecker say it. Ride the hot hand. It would not surprise me if he starts on Sunday. Let Pyotr and Freddie Anderson handle the net on pick one of those guys to start tomorrow. Go back to Bussey. Why not? Why not? Don't worry, we're going to dive more into the Carolina Hurricanes later on in the show. But as I said earlier, Victoria,
yes,
if you love pro sports in the state of North Carolina, last night was a great night.
Yeah, it was.
Not only did the Carolina Hurricanes got a win, but guess what? Carolina Panthers are in first.
Buccaneers lost.
Carolina Panthers are in first place. The Bucs lost 29-28 on a last-second field goal. Congratulations. Carolina Panthers, you're in first place. Now, the line for the Carolina Panthers to make the playoffs, by the line, I mean the path. The path is clear. But more importantly, the Carolina Panthers are in control. I know a lot of people like to say in control of your own destiny. I hate that term because destiny is something that's predetermined. I like to say you are in control of your future. Like you are walking down the path that you create, as opposed to what the Buccaneers are doing right now. They have to trail in your footsteps because they are behind you in the standings. The path to make the playoffs for the Carolina Panthers is dead clear. You beat the Saints this coming Sunday. And then next week, at Bank of America Stadium, week 16, the Bucs come into your building and you beat them. You beat the Saints, then you beat the Bucs. You win the NFC South. The NFC South title is yours, and you are in the playoffs, and you have a home playoff game in January. It is that clear. Mm-hmm. It is that clear. But like I mentioned a moment ago, for a team like the Bucs, they are, again, now having to walk down the path of the Carolina Panthers and hoping that the Panthers stumble along the way to catch up. And their head coach, Todd Bowles of the Buccaneers, well, let's just say after the game, he wasn't happy with the loss.
What do you tell them in the locker room after a game like this?
It's inexcusable. You don't make excuses.
You got to fucking care enough where the shit hurts. You got to fucking care enough where the shit hurts. It got to fucking mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your fucking livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? Well, you can't sugarcoat that shit. It was inexcusable, and there's no fucking answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room. Look in the fucking mirror.
One for the road.
Let's go. One for the road. 10 bleeps.
Wow.
10 bleeps in 26 seconds.
Glad he didn't say any more because we ran out of fingers.
Right? I can only hit that so many times. I'm taking my shoes off, trying to count on toes. That is...
He's mad.
Yeah. And that's him directly calling out his players because he understands. Because look at the last 2 weeks. Believe it or not, the last 2 weeks we have seen the NFC South help the Carolina Panthers. Mm-hmm. The Saints beat the Bucks back on Sunday, 24-20. Again, the Bucks were in the lead in the division just a couple of weeks ago. But we saw the Saints beat the Bucks just this past Sunday, 24-20. And then the Falcons beating the Bucks last night, as we mentioned, to kick off Week 15, 29-28. So, Carolina, congratulations. Panthers, your own division has helped you. Mm-hmm. Now it's time to go help yourself. By the way, coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll actually have I had a conversation a couple days ago with Ickey Ekwonu, the starting left tackle for the Carolina Panthers. So you'll hear that conversation here in a little bit. But as a Panthers organization, as a team, we know that they were watching that game last night.
Oh, yeah.
We know that they were watching the scoreboard, that they were following along. We know that there was a rooting interest. Dave Canales even said it earlier this week, watching the Saints against the Bucks. He was emotionally invested in it because he understands what's at stake. That they needed the Saints to beat the Bucks this past Sunday. They know that they needed the Bucks to lose to the Falcons last night. They understand what is at stake. Now the question is, how do you handle your business this coming Sunday? We will learn a ton about this team on Sunday. We'll dive more into the Panthers and stuff a little bit later on in the show, or throughout the show, I should say. But one thing that I am curious to find out about the Carolina Panthers is how much they learned from themselves about how they handled the loss to the Saints earlier this season. And I say that in the context of you just came off a big win against the Green Bay Packers the week before. And then you took the Saints a little bit lightly. How well did they learn from that moment? Because we've seen the last 6 games for the Carolina Panthers be alternating between wins and losses. They haven't strung together back-to-back wins in consecutive weeks since they beat, I think it was the Dolphins, and they won 3 straight. They beat the Dolphins, they beat the Cowboys. That's the last time they've won consecutive games. It's been that long. I guess Green Bay thrown in there as well. But nonetheless, you followed up Green Bay with a stinker against the Saints. Then you come back against the Falcons. Had an awesome offensive performance. And then you come back and you laid an egg against the 49ers. Then you came back and you had what I say was your most complete team win of the season against the Rams. Okay, how do you follow it up? You are in control. I gotta say, you had the opportunity to seize control this weekend. You take complete control with a win against the Saints. I am curious to see how Dave Canales and the rest of that team learned from the big win they had earlier this season against the Green Bay Packers. Because a lot of us said, hey, that win against Green Bay on the road, yeah, it was an ugly win, but a win nonetheless. This could be a turning point for the team. This could be the moment where this team really catapults itself into saying, hey, we are actually a legit football team. We're no longer just, the Panthers. Mm-hmm. But then you lay the egg against the Saints. Which, by the way, the Saints, they've won 2 of their last 4 games. They came against the Bucks this past Sunday and against the Panthers. Mm-hmm. You cannot go into New Orleans and take them lightly. Be like, oh, look, we're in first place. Mm-hmm. We got this.
We need a redemption Sunday.
You haven't won anything yet. By the way, not a single team in the NFL, as we go into Week 15, not a single team has clinched a playoff spot yet.
It's Crazy.
So you haven't won anything. Now, granted, there's like a whole bunch of scenarios where I think like 6 teams can clinch this weekend or something along those lines. So, I mean, but still, we're going into week 15 and no one's clinched a playoff spot. It's all right there for you to take, Panthers. It is right there. We talk about killer instinct in sports. Go for it. Go for it. It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Vonecker producing the show today. We are going to dive in a little bit more later on in the program about more on Brandon Bussey and the Carolina Hurricanes. Obviously, they got a pair of games this weekend. More on the Carolina Panthers because guess what? Panthers are first place in the division. Also, UNC football fired a couple of assistant coaches. They fired their offensive coordinator, Freddie Kitchens. They fired their special teams coordinator, Mike Pryfer. Not shocked.
Yeah.
But I will say this on this real quick. Surprised it took this long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're going to make these changes, why didn't you make these changes 3 weeks ago when you played NC State? If this was going to be the decision that you made, because we've seen the coaching carousel move. Just why you made the decision now. Anyway, just the timing kind of just a little bit different. We'll dive more into that a little bit later on. And also, one of the top teams in the country in Kansas comes into NC State basketball this weekend. We have a lot to get to, and we're just getting started. How are the Carolina Panthers? How are the players themselves handling the pressure of knowing what's at stake the rest of the season and being in a playoff hunt? I spoke one-on-one with Ickey Ekwonu, left tackle of the Carolina Panthers, just a couple of days ago. We'll have that conversation next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
I think we can officially say the 8th overall pick for the Carolina Panthers was a success. Dan Morgan knew what he was doing. Teteroa McMillan only needed one catch to change the game against the Rams, and they need to continue to work to give him more opportunities to change the game in the future. He is a difference maker. They need him to make a difference.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
We're heading into the weekend. You have that friend's Christmas party to go to, but you don't know what you should bring? I know just the thing. I'm Victoria Vonecker here for Blue Shark Vodka, and you definitely will not go wrong with the smoothest and cleanest vodka made right here in North Carolina. Plus, the bottle alone is a conversation starter and a cool collectible, so it's absolutely going to be the gift that gets stolen multiple times in Dirty Santa. But don't just take my word for it. Check them out at your local ABC store or visit them at BlueSharkVodka.com.
Are you looking for great holiday gift ideas? Head to Global Golf for the holiday sidewalk sale this Friday and Saturday. Find drivers starting at $50, putters starting at $25, bags starting at $50, shirts starting at $15, and great savings on GPS watches and rangefinders. Plus, receive a free gift with purchase of $100 or more. Head to Global Golf, located in North Raleigh, 7320 ACC Boulevard, for the holiday sidewalk sale this Friday and Saturday, December 12th and 13th.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rates to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rates in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. Don't wait, no hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out all higher interest debt and lowering your bills by thousands. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Stop what you're doing. Aaron's just broke the holiday universe. No payments until January 1st, 2026. Yep, don't pay a thing until next year and start with just a penny, 1 cent, and you're basically pre-approved. Aaron's been in the community for 70 years, making it easy to get brand new name brand furniture, appliances, electronics, all the great stuff you need. But listen, this is in-store only, so get up and get over to Aaron's today. And don't miss out. Don't just hear about the deals, get them before they're all gone.
This is Adam Gold.
See Bettman take all that time to walk out, then to see the pick bro hug no less than 20 guys on his way up there. And then this draft house, they just moved this wall like the Price is Right. I don't know.
It's a showcase showdown back there.
I know.
That would be great. So we should spin a wheel,
yeah,
right? Exactly.
The Adam Gold Show.
At 4:25 Eastern Time this Sunday, the Carolina Panthers kick off against the New Orleans Saints down there in New Orleans, with the opportunity to fully take control of the NFC South. They sit them first right now, but you lose on Sunday, you give it right back. How do they seize control? How do they handle these moments going forward? Obviously, we're looking at situations and scenarios of this team wins, this team loses, all that kind of stuff. How do the players handle that? On a podcast that I host, by the way, Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon, Victoria Vonecker producing the show. On a podcast that I host called Panthers Playbook, which you can subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Also, you can watch it on YouTube. Search Panthers Playbook. It's also on the 99.9 The Fan YouTube page, 99.9 The Fan being the flagship station for the Adam Gold Show. So make sure you subscribe there. I had a one-on-one conversation on Panthers Playbook with left tackle Ickey Ekwonu. Now, this conversation came after their practice on Wednesday, but a lot of the stuff we talked about obviously still important for this upcoming Sunday, about how they handle pressure as a team, how they're handling the moment. Here's the conversation I had earlier with Ickey Ekwonu. Ickey, let's go and jump right into this. 4 weeks left in the season. You guys are right there in the hunt for the NFC South Championship. How fun is this time for you guys? Is everything you worked all off season for to build up to this point? How fun is it for you all?
I mean, it definitely feels great, being able to play some very, very meaningful ball this late in the season. It's definitely it's an exciting opportunity having everything out there in front of us like that.
Let's go back to the last time you guys were on the field against the Rams. Your defense gets 3 turnovers, including a pick 6 by Mike Jackson. Derek Brown comes with that big sack as well. You also get a couple big-time passing plays from Bryce Young. But the running game also was clicking. It felt like, from the outside perspective, the most complete game that you guys had as a team. How does a win like that against an opponent like the Rams catapult you guys into the bye week, but also just give you guys that momentum for this final push?
I mean, it definitely feels good. Any chance you get to put some great film on tape is going to feel good, and obviously that film is going to carry over week in and week out. But I mean, it definitely just goes to show that we can do it. When we play together, when we play well in all 3 phases of the game, we're definitely going to like the outcome. So I feel like that was just another example of that.
How do you guys make sure you carry it from week to week?
I mean, just honestly, we kind of have I know me personally, but really everybody has like a 24-hour rule. In terms of, we celebrate, or no matter what, win, lose, draw, come in on Monday, watch the film, evaluate it, talk about it, and then after that, it's kind of flushed. And so, once you kind of flush, you take the good things you take, you learn from the bad things. And once you kind of flush that and, start fresh on Wednesday, it just makes it that much easier to transition to the next opponent. So we've been having a really good schedule where we were able to, celebrate, and glory and wins, and also, and also defeats, being able to learn, pick those lessons from it, and being able to move on.
So with the bye week, having that extra week to get ready for the rest of the season, I know a lot of coaches, I did this back in college, where it was the opportune time to self-scout, learn about yourself. What have you learned about yourself through these first 13 games of the season to get you ready for this final push?
Yeah, well, I mean, I definitely feel like I've gotten better as a player, but also as a teammate this year. So definitely a shout out to the coaching staff and also the guys we have in this locker room. It's definitely a special group. I feel like we're just getting more and more connected each and every day and each and every week. So that's definitely been something that kind of stood out to me, how close we are as a unit and how much we've all improved.
Well, let's dive into that offensive line unit. It's obviously been yourself, Damian. It's been Cade, Austin, Yash, everyone. Like, there's so many guys that have played for you all this season, but there are 9 of you guys that were brought back from last year. With all the injuries that you guys have had to deal with on the offensive line, it feels like there's a new starting offensive line combination every week. At least it seems that way. But the fact that you had so many guys coming back from last year, how much is that continuity in the locker room and in the film room carried over to help you guys through these troubling times this year with all the injuries?
I mean, it definitely helps. It definitely helps being able to have, a standard of culture that everybody's already had a year, in the program with. So it's definitely been fortunate, just the way that guys have stepped up, in tough situations, middle of the game, when you might not think you're going to have to get in at all. First drive of the game, some guys having to step in and play the rest of the game against, very tough, formidable defenses. So definitely been impressive. Definitely a huge testament to those guys being able to step up. And, I think it goes to show the type of standard we've created.
I think it was, I remember correctly, I think it was the Green Bay game when Damian went down just a couple plays in, but then he came back into the contest. Just how tough is that dude playing next to him? Like, how tough is that dude? Just not only just physically, mentally, like just that guy lining up next to you game in and game out.
Nice, tough dude. Definitely, definitely a lead by example kind of guy. And definitely been very fortunate to be able to play beside him these last couple of years.
What have you learned from him? Obviously, he spent time in Seattle before coming over to Carolina. What have you picked up from him just in terms of what he experienced in a different system, a different organization? What have you picked up from playing next to him?
I mean, for me, just looking at D-Lou's film, he's never rattled out there. No matter what happens during the play, before the play, he's always has a cool head about him, and he's always just slow to process. He's always just taking things as they come. So that's definitely a part of my game that I wanted to improve on. People like to change the look, sometime right before the snap, or sometimes you might be a little late off the snap count. Just little stuff like that might get you off your rhythm. Being able to kind of refocus, mid play and after the play, and being able to kind of tune back in is something I definitely learn from him.
I think you bring up a really good point in terms of the mental aspect of sports, because we only see, from the outside watching on TV or watching in the stadium, we just see the physical things that comes along those lines. Where have you felt like from, again, learning from Damian Lewis, but also you talked about where you've improved as a player. How have you improved in that regard on the stuff that's intangible between the ears in terms of maybe it's not just necessarily understanding assignments or beating defenses, but maybe not getting rattled if you have a bad rep?
Yeah. I mean, it's just that, just the more and more I play in this league and the more and more, I'm around those type of guys and, the coaching staff we have here, the more comfortable I've been getting. And, I feel like that kind of goes for a lot of different players, but I've just been really fortunate to have the time to be able to grow and develop and just, have the game slow down for me. And I feel like this year, especially, the game has slowed down a lot and I'm able to process things just that much quicker.
All right, a couple more questions for you. Again, I know you're getting ready for the Saints and all that this coming weekend. The 2 running backs that you guys have in the locker room have both been affected with Chuba and with Rico, and they both have a little bit of a different playing style. Do you have to, in some way, shape, or form, I guess for lack of a better term, if Chuba's in the backfield versus Rico or vice versa, and there's a run play call that's might be running your direction, does their style of play impact how you approach a certain play? But maybe you're anticipating, all right, Rico might hit the hole with a little bit more speed. Chuba might be a little bit more patient, whatever it might be. How does that impact just on a play-to-play basis for you? Just curious.
Honestly, it doesn't impact me. I know just with the guys we got in that backfield, like all I got to do is I do my job, I do my part. I get a little bit of movement. That's all they need. And those guys are going to hit that gap hard. And those guys are some of the hardest runners and the most competitive guys I've met. So definitely been fortunate having them being able to share the locker room with me and, be in that running back room. It's definitely been fortunate. But any chance you get to block for guys like that, you're going to be happy.
All right, final thing for Ickey Ekwonu, left tackle for the Carolina Panthers. I know a lot of everyone's going to say the week-to-week approach, but everyone's human. I know a lot of people are going to look and say, I know when I played lacrosse in college, it was easy to look like, okay, if we beat that team and they lose to that team, we're going to be this spot in the standings and all that kind of stuff. How difficult is it to block that stuff out, to focus on just a week-to-week?
I mean, I feel like just the nature of the game, it's kind of hard to be able to play at your best when you have so many things, going through your head. So honestly, it makes the job that much easier for me, knowing that all I got to focus on 1 week at a time. Just got to stack one day at a time, building towards Sunday 1 week at a time, and then flush it again and start over. It kind of, especially with the season being as long as it is, it definitely helps you stay focused and, just stay that much more relaxed and, that much more dedicated. So yeah, honestly, I like the mindset we have here, being able to flush it and being 1-0 every week.
Awesome. Ickey, thanks for your time. Best of luck this weekend. Really do appreciate it.
No doubt. I appreciate y'all.
Again, that is left tackle for the Carolina Panthers, Ickey Ekwonu. Joining myself, Dennis Cox, on Panthers Playbook, along with my co-host Chris Lee of WRAL. That conversation was back on Wednesday. There's just some interesting things that he said, and especially I really did want to pick his mind about how athletes are approaching this. Because I know in college, when I played college lacrosse, the conference that we played in, only the top 4 teams got to make it to the conference tournament. So we were kind of look at sometimes ahead, be like, okay, like if we're third right now, but if this team loses, we can get second place, or if this team wins, then we're going to need to beat this team and all that kind of. You kind of play that scenario game, like that long-term forecast, like just because it's human nature, right? I mean, we're doing it as people, as fans or people that cover the team. It's just human nature. But he says, you know what? With the nature of our business, everything that we have going on, you just can't afford to spend that mental energy looking at that kind of stuff. And I think that's also kind of, I don't know, lack of a better term is comforting, but it's got to be a good feeling, I would imagine, that in that locker room, you don't have to worry anymore about, okay, do we need the Bucks to lose? Like for example, this past Sunday against the Saints, hey, we need the Bucks to lose to the Saints. And you're sitting at home hoping, as opposed to actually doing something tangible out there on the field to take control of a situation. They have everything in front of them. I said it earlier in the show. Everything in front of them to go take the division lead. I mean, technically they're at first right now, but you win on Sunday, it is firmly yours to take.
Yeah, they can lock it in.
Yes. Like you can fully have it in your grasp. Not in the process of being handed over to you. No, you can fully take it and hold on to it and never give it back. Fully take control. I'm excited about Sunday. Sunday's going to be awesome. And I have no way of predicting how the game's going to go because the Panthers have been so inconsistent this season. I'm done making predictions for them.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I'm done.
No.
Done.
Who knows?
Again, the last 6 games for them have just been flip-flop, back and forth. Loss, win, loss, win, loss, win.
And it's in like the weirdest, it's not even in consistent ways either.
No.
Like it's all scrambled.
It's this last 4, again, this Sunday is going to speak volumes in my eyes about this Panthers team, from the head coach Dave Canales to Bryce Young and everyone across that board. It's going to speak volumes to who they are as a team. It really is. Because now the pressure really is on them. Not just the pressure of like, oh, we got to win to keep pace. Now the pressure is, can you handle being the favorite? Can you actually handle carrying the weight of being the team that can win it? We'll see. It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. I didn't see anyone scoring a one-timer yesterday, Victoria. But there are some chances. We have our own one-timers next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Troxler, North Carolina Commissioner of Agriculture. Farming's tough, but you're not alone. That's why the North Carolina Agri-Medicine Institute offers the North Carolina Farm Helpline, a free 24/7 resource for the agriculture community. Long hours, difficult decisions, and unexpected challenges can add up. Whether you need to talk to a counselor who understands farming or help with finances, legal questions, or farm safety, call 844-325-3276. That's 844-325-3276. The North Carolina Farm Helpline, a free 24/7 resource for the agriculture community. 844-325-3276. Because no one should face farm life alone.
Open enrollment for health insurance is here, but don't worry. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance has you covered for all your health insurance needs, including Medicare. And with offices in every county, a trusted, experienced agent is just around the corner, ready to help find a plan that's right for you. Visit ncfbins.com or stop by your local office today. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
As we wind down the high school football sports season and head into the holidays, the Governor's Highway Safety Program would like to remind you to buckle your seatbelt when traveling to and from athletic events. Wearing a seatbelt is your best defense against injury or death in a crash. Start the season off right and prioritize your safety by buckling up. Every seat, every time. Remember, click it or ticket. It's the law. This message is brought to you by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association and the Governor's Highway Safety Program.
This season, make the choice to protect what matters most, you and your family. Choose to get vaccinated for the best protection from respiratory illness.
Talking with your provider about vaccines, hand washing, and staying home when sick keep your family protected from the flu, RSV, and COVID.
Defend yourself. Get vaccinated to protect you and your family from respiratory illnesses this season.
Visit myspot.nc.gov to find yours today.
Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
This is Adam Gold.
And we're going to have Seth on the show next week when he gets back from vacation. He was by a pool.
What are you doing?
Get off Twitter.
It's nicer to be on Twitter when you're by a pool anyway.
No, just stop engaging with people.
The Adam Gold Show.
I know the holiday season's approaching. It's a fun time. I know it could be a stressful time as well for a lot of people. So I hope everyone out there is getting ready for the holidays and enjoying themselves. By the way, Victoria, I don't know if you had this coming into the station today, but where we are in the Triangle in Raleigh, I saw some snowflakes again today.
Yes,
which is awesome.
I loved it too because it wasn't sticking either.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't sticking, but it still was fun. It's still fun to see. I know I have some friends out there in the western part of the state, live out in like Linville and all that area. They were sending me some pictures last week when we had some snow, obviously here in the Raleigh area. We had pretty much just a dusting. I know people out in the western part of the state was like inches of snow. I was so jealous.
I know.
So incredibly jealous.
Me too.
But anyway, I digress. I digress.
Biff loves the snow too, so.
I love the snow. Biff loves the snow. I would like to play a hockey in an outdoor rink. I would love to do that in some snow. Maybe if I get that opportunity, maybe actually here in the parking lot, Victoria, I might build an outdoor rink in the parking lot.
Let's do it.
There's enough space out there.
I'm down.
I might build a little small rink. Maybe I'll take some one-timers out there. But until then, Victoria, until I get that outdoor rink built, it's time for us to take one-timers right here.
Okay, well, looking at our YouTube stream, and also you can at me on Twitter, either or, but starting off from WM, can the Canes continue to rotate 3 goalies, or should they use the next few games to narrow down who 1B is?
There are going to be plenty of opportunities in the coming days, or just in this stretch of the season, where they could really go 1-2-3 of goaltending. For example, if they want to, they could go 1-2-3 if you include last night's game, because if you include last night's game Thursday, then tomorrow, Saturday, back-to-back Sunday as well, 3 games in 4 nights, you can easily justify going 1-2-3. You had Bussy start last night. You can go Piotr or Freddie on the road tomorrow, and then Piotr or Freddie at home on Sunday. You can easily do that. And then also you look at next week, once you get past this weekend, you actually look at their schedule coming up as well, is that they also have 3 games in 4 days where they got to play at Nashville, then they got to go to Florida, and then they got to go to Tampa. So 3 games in 4 days, all on the road. Nashville, Florida, Tampa. If you wanted to go 1-2-3, you can easily justify that. But I think last night actually showed by Rob Brindamore that I'm going to ride this hot hand, because last night he easily could have justified, hey, Bussy, you started on Tuesday. We'll go with Freddie, or with Piotr having started on Sunday. All right, whatever. Let's go. Brandon, you started on Tuesday. Let's go Piotr on Thursday. Then we'll go Freddie on Saturday, and Bussy will come back to you on Sunday. Easily could have done that, but he said, nope, I'm going to ride the hot hand. I think, my eyes, to answer the question, I think you figure out who the 1B is right now. I think you figure out who the 1B is right now, because let's not forget, there were some long stretches and multiple times this season where Piotr Kochetkov was dealing with a lower body injury and some discomfort. So you only had 2 guys available. Now that you have 3, Bussy he's been the hot hand. You ride the hot hand. Don't put too much on his plate where you grind him and wear him down. It's a delicate balance, but I really do think that you make Bussy right now 1A, and you figure out 1B, which might be Kochetkov, which unfortunately means Freddie might have to sit for a bit. But also you run into the risk of guys sitting too long. How do they play out of the rut? It really is a fine. I don't envy Rob Brindamore in the situation, but I think right now you figure out who 1B is until you get to the bridge of, okay, we got to go back and figure out who our number 1 is. But right now, you know who your number 1 is. It's Brandon Bussy. Next one.
Next up, we have, is there a chance we see Freddie used as a trade piece for a big body center?
Potentially, but I think a lot of that rides on other moves that team is going to make, because first of all, who are you going to go get? Big body center. I know a lot of people, myself included, that talked about, hey, Tage Thompson would be amazing from the Buffalo Sabres. But in order to get Tage Thompson, I need to get guys that can play up front. And if I'm going to give up Tage Thompson, who's a top 6 forward, I better be getting a great skater in return. Now, it might be like an added piece of, hey, another team's going to trade their goalie away to another team. Now I just need a warm body to finish out the season. Yeah, I'll bring in Frederick Anderson. So that's kind of a unique situation. But if I'm getting a center, a big body forward, I want skaters in return. Unless I know I'm going to get a goaltender that might be on my roster for the next 2 or 3 or 4 years. I don't know how much value Freddie Anderson is going to have going for a top 6 forward. It might be just an added extra bonus piece, but I don't see Freddie being used in that regard because why would you want to take that on if that makes sense?
Next up, we've got from Peyton. Are there any specific position groups you want to see perform Sunday?
Oh, it's for the Panthers.
That's a good question. It was not specified.
I'm assuming you're not talking about the second game of a back-to-back for the Hurricanes, because why would you skip Saturday's game? So yes, I'm assuming we'll talk about the Panthers on Sunday. If there's a group I want to see perform well against the Saints, there's a ton of different options that you can go with. Position group, I'm gonna go with the 1-2 punch of Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle because the running game in the first matchup got shut down by the Saints. They loaded the box with 8. They dared Bryce Young in the passing game to beat them. If the running game gets going, and I think having the extra, obviously the bye week, just the extra week of rest is going to benefit greatly. So I'm going to go with the running backs. If Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle can replicate as close as possible what they did a couple weeks ago against the Rams, Panthers win. Plain and simple. It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Vodnecker producing the show. Brandon Bussey. It's no longer just an awesome story. He's the guy. We discuss that next.
Asheville to Wilmington, Boone to Durham. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Excuse me, garçon. I'll pick up the tab for the lady and I.
Sir, this is Monopoly money.
And there's more where that came from.
I'm calling the cops.
Don't waste your time. I have a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Start playing for real money. New Monopoly scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have real cash wins of up to $1 million. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.83 to 4.28. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
At the Dugout Tavern and Grill's annual Cheers for Children party, we ring in the holidays and dig deep to help the kids at Wake Med Children's Hospital. And we want you to come join the festivities at the Dugout Tavern and Grill in Apex Thursday, December 18th, starting at 6 for Christmas cocktails, seasonal brews, and an ugly sweater contest. Donate money or items to help the kids at Wake Med Children's and get entered into our raffle for big ticket prizes drawn at 7:30 and stock up on holiday gift cards that everyone loves. Details at thedugouttavern.com.
Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? Did you know that Bailey's has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for our designer jewelry, fine diamonds, and luxury watches, but we also have a vast selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. Add a little sparkle with the popular Sterling Collection Pave Diamond Hoops or Pave Diamond Cushion Pendant Necklace, both for only $175 each. Show your love with our Icon Collection Diamond Open Heart Ring for $375. Or stick with something classic, like Akoya Pearl Studs starting at just $165. Bailey's is your go-to destination for holiday shopping. We're proud to make gift-giving easy since 1948 and to be voted Best Jeweler year after year. Located in Raleigh's Village District, Cary's Fenton, also in Rocky Mount and Greenville and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Hey friends, Paul Eihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. It's Friday, and for FanDuel Friday, we're turning it up with NBA Happy Hour. So here's the bit. Every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern, FanDuel is dropping limited time specials to get you in the hoops zone. Boosts, bonuses, surprises, all of them designed to bring you that Friday basketball energy. It's not just another promo, it's your weekly pregame. NBA Happy Hour. Every Friday, 6 to 7:30 Eastern. Mark it on your calendars. Set your alarms. It's only on FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Visit FanDuel.com/Paul, Paul with a capital P. Grab your reward before the clock expires. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
HIV is not a crime, or it shouldn't be.
It's time for the laws to catch up to science.
Join the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation to modernize outdated HIV criminalization laws. Go to etaf.org. Campaign funded through the support of Gilead Sciences Incorporated.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
If Brandon Bussey is being looked at as a future piece of this team, I'm all for it. The kid's earned it. He's paid his dues, and he's showing right now that he belongs in the National, and good for him, and good for Eric Tulsky for scooping him up, and good for Rod Brindamore to find a way to get him in between the pipes as often as he has. And for my defensive PK, before he got back in the net, Rod Brindamore was asked, about how he was feeling, and he's like, well, if it's not feeling right for a goalie, then you don't want to mess with it, right?
Right.
And so I'm wondering if they may have skipped him for tonight's game against the Caps. But Coach, if there's something, there's something could be up that we just don't know about.
Those are the words of Mike Solarte, Spectrum News, talking about Brandon Bussey, which, let's be honest, he is the story right now. Not just for the Carolina Hurricanes, but he's also one of the biggest stories in the NHL. It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold this afternoon. I woke up this morning. I was thinking about the Carolina Hurricanes game last night. Actually, let's take two. Let's get right back into this thing, Victoria. So I was watching the game last night with my fiance and just talking about after the game about how this is the 10th win in 11 starts for Brandon Bussey, which, by the way, 3-2 shootout win. 3-2 shutout win. 3-2 shootout win for the Carolina Hurricanes over the Washington Capitals last night. I will say that correctly. 3-2 shutout win for the Carolina Hurricanes over the Washington Capitals last night in an absolutely phenomenal hockey game between both sides. Absolutely awesome game between both sides. And Carolina coming out on top. And they got absolutely great goaltending, especially in the third period for Brandon Bussey. He was phenomenal throughout. But at what point, I remember my fiance and I talking about this. At what point is it just become, this is awesome story, and now it's just, he's the guy? Like, he has to be the guy for the team now, right? Because it's not just, like, I know Adam Gold has mentioned it before. For example, we saw Spencer Martin come up here and get a shutout, actually. Spencer Martin come up and just in spot duty play a couple good games. But then we also saw a stretch there when Spencer Martin had to actually start a stretch of games because of injury, and it just didn't work out long term. Now, again, he was great in the moment at different moments, and he was awesome. And I know Canes fans are going to love Spencer Martin for what he was able to come up and do at moments the last couple of seasons. But this no longer feels like just a cool moment. This feels like this guy's got it. This guy's got something. Now, will we see a slight taper off in his play? If he continues to be treated as a number one goalie, is he going to lose some games? Yeah. Is there going to be a game where he doesn't play his best or the team in front of him doesn't play it well and they allow 4 goals? Yeah, you're going to see that. But I wouldn't let that result, based off what we've seen so far, deter you from still keeping him as your guy. I wouldn't wait for just the one moment where it's like, you know what? He gave up 4. Let's put him on waivers and see if we can sneak him back down to Chicago. No, I think he's earned enough good grace already to show that he can handle even a tough performance. Because let's not forget, when they won 6-3 against the Nashville Predators this past Saturday, where Brandon Bussey started, the latter part of that game really wasn't that great for Carolina. Or they were up 5-0, and they still gave up 3 goals late in the game, like the latter half of that game. Wasn't great. And Bussey played fine. Like, actually played well. But the team in front of him didn't play great, and his overall numbers didn't look good, relative. But overall, he still played well. But you have tasked him a couple times now to start back-to-back games. The first time we saw it, in the second game of the back-to-back games that he started, he got a shutout in a 1-0 overtime win where Nikolai Ehlers scored the game-winning goal against the Calgary Flames in a very ugly 1-0 win on a Sunday afternoon at the Lenovo Center. So that's something we've seen. Okay, let's see how you handle starting back-to-back games again, but this time, as opposed to doing it in the comfort of the Lenovo Center at home, let's see if you can do it on the road. And not just on the road against anybody. Go to Washington, the top team in the Metropolitan Division, and let's see how you handle it then. Victoria, if we were giving out grades, A+.
Oh,
if we're giving out
100%.
grades, A+. He passed with flying colors.
Extra credit and everything.
Yeah, like gold stars
all over. Yep.
You're the first, second, and third star.
Mm-hmm.
He passed it with flying colors.
Very impressive.
And again, at what point does Rob Brindamore and this organization say, that's our guy right now? Yeah. Maybe it's he's our guy right now until the wheels fall off the bus, pun intended.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we have to figure it out. But then we are already seeing trades, by the way. So people talk about, like, well, what kind of moves do you make? You have 3 goaltenders, all those kinds of things. Well, we've actually already seen 2 goalies get traded today. So again, how does the market shape out about who's available? We saw the Edmonton Oilers send goalie Stuart Skinner along with defenseman Brett Kulak and a 2029 second-round pick. They got those 3 pieces got sent to the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Edmonton Oilers in return got Samuel Poulin, a forward, and goalie Tristan Jarry. So Stuart Skinner, who had been in the Stanley Cup final each of the last 2 seasons for the Edmonton Oilers, just got traded for Tristan Jarry, a goaltender of Pittsburgh who a few years ago when he was when dialed in, was damn good. I think both those guys probably just needed a change of scenery. So hopefully things work out on both sides for them.
Yeah.
Except for Pittsburgh because, Pittsburgh's in the Canes division. Mm-hmm. I only root for you so much. Nonetheless, we've already seen goalies get moved. The bit of a pickle that Carolina is in right now is that you have a goalie that is playing well that isn't supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget that. He's not supposed to be there.
There's a little wrench in things.
Yeah. But then you also have the injury history of Frederik Andersen and also the recent injury history as well of Pyotr Kochetkov. And I say recent as of this season. Let's not forget, the only reason Brandon Bussey is here is because Pyotr Kochetkov was hurt to start the season. Mm-hmm. They needed a body. Hey, we got to send Caden Primo down through waivers to Chicago. We don't think he's going to make it. Let's claim Brandon Bussey off waivers from the Florida Panthers. Sure enough, Caden Primo gets picked up by Toronto. Brandon Bussey gets claimed off waivers. Hey, Brandon, we need you to go back up Freddie for these first 2 nights. Hey, Brandon, Piotr's still not healthy. We need you to go play. Hey, Brandon, we need you to go play again. Hey, Brandon, we need you to go play again. Okay, got it. And what is he doing?
Winning.
The only goalie in NHL history with 10 wins in their first 11 starts. I'll say it one more time for the people in the back. In NHL history, no goalie has ever won 10 games in their first 11 appearances until Brandon Bussey did it last night. He's the only one. The only one. Rob Brindamore, the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, was asked about this historic start by Brandon Bussey. And here was his reaction last night.
Love making history in that form, but just when you get to know him, the story, and then such a great kid, and he's really earned every minute of this. So obviously we hope it continues, but it's been a great ride here so far.
Yeah, you hope it continues, because right now he's your number one goalie. He's your number one goalie. Jordan Martinook, the alternate captain, who I've said is the heart and soul of the Carolina Hurricanes, is impressed with watching Bussey, but also seeing Bussey finally get his chance.
Yeah, I think you're just happy for your teammate. He's just a great guy and brings a ton of energy. He's always smiling, and I think when it takes somebody that long to get here, to get his opportunity, and then when he goes and runs with it, you just appreciate those guys that much more because they know how much it means and how hard it was to get there. So just pumped to watch him do what he's doing, and it's been fun to play in front of him.
The Carolina Hurricanes are 19-9-2. Brandon Bussey has 10 of their 19 wins. He has over half their wins this season. He is the guy. He's the guy. Just even looking at last night, just off the counting stats and the box score, he stopped 23 of 25 shots throughout the course of the game. It's a 92% save percentage. 92%. Oh, and also stopped all 3 shots in a shootout as well. 3 of those saves came in overtime. It's no longer a question of, can he keep this thing going? Again, I'm not going to sit there and say he's going to win the 10 out of his next 11 starts. Not. But let's say his next 10 starts, he's still at 91, 92% save percentage, keeping the goals against, at what, 2 point... I actually even look and see what his goals against. His goals against is 2.07.
Wow.
His save percentage on the season is 91%. I'm right. I think this is consistent now. Now, again, if the wheels fall off the bus, pun intended, then okay, then you could look and make a move. Or go back to Freddie, or go back to Piotr. But right now, this young man has earned the right to continue to get his name called on a consistent basis for this team.
Yeah, in a huge way last night. I just keep thinking, there was already so much pressure going into Washington, having someone like Ovechkin, but then it comes down to a shootout. That's all the pressure. And he was like, no, I'm good. Got this. Got that. I'm like, yes, let's go, buddy. I love it. It's exciting.
It's
Canes
awesome.
fans should be really excited.
They should be. Because this is a really, really good hockey team.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if you're on the outside looking in, I think sometimes I try and make sure I do that. Like, get on the outside and look in about what's actually going on. So if you look at Carolina, you're like, all right, you have a 36-year-old goalie who has a pretty big injury history and is not playing very well right now. Then you also have a younger guy you've been waiting, Pyotr Kochetkov, that you've been waiting to take over potentially as a number one goalie that started 46, 47 games for you last year and at times was the best goalie in the league, for a month stretch, but has also had an injury history. And then you have a career minor leaguer. That's your goalie situation right now. Yet they're still atop the Metro. They're one of the best teams in the entire NHL. Victoria, make it make sense.
I know.
Make it make sense.
I think it might be easier to make the Panthers' inconsistency make sense more than that they're both too tall tasks.
The Carolina Hurricanes have the best record in the Eastern Conference with everything I just mentioned at goaltending. Goes to show you, A, how good of a complete team it is. 2, their system of play allows them to be competitive night in and night out on a consistent basis. But 3, Okay, someone's got to get wins between the pipes. Oh, it just happens to be the undrafted guy that is a career minor leaguer.
Yeah, that one.
Some people don't get their opportunities until late. Brandon Bussey's getting his opportunity way later than most people would anticipate. Let's not forget, he's a year older than Pyotr Kochetkov. He's a year older than him. And we've seen Pyotr Kochetkov, how many seasons in the Canes uniform now? I think it's his 5th where we've seen him actually play games.
And a few, yep.
Yeah. Brandon Bussey's finally getting the chance. Let's not forget as well, Jalen Chatfield didn't become a full-time NHL player until the age of 26.
Yeah.
And he's a top 4 defenseman in the league. Like he's not top 4 defenseman in the league, but he is a top 4 defenseman for a team in the NHL. Not just you can skate on a third pair or maybe be the 7th guy that just gets some healthy scratch, things along those lines. No, he's a legit top 4 defenseman for a team in the NHL. Some guys just take a little bit longer to develop. I mean, look at Eric Robinson and the way he's playing. Eric Robinson's 30 years old. He's a little bit of a late bloomer as well. Maybe that's the situation you have here with Brandon Bussey. Treat him like 1A. Because right now, for the Carolina Hurricanes, Brandon Bussey is 1A. Let's actually have one more soundbite. This actually comes from Brandon Bussey himself. He was asked by Hannah Yates of FanDuel Sports Network last night after the game about how his goalie coach, Paul Schoenfelder, said that, you know what? Brandon Bussey's still every day at practice, every day around the team. He's still having fun.
Yeah, I think it helps take away the nerves, I guess. I feel like I don't get too nervous in games, but, being appreciative every day, having fun. Like, this is what you dream about as a kid, right? Just go out there and trust what you've done to get there, That's kind of all I really do.
By the way, for a lot of people wondering, should the Carolina Hurricanes look to maybe make a trade with Frederik Andersen? Frederik Andersen's contract is structured this season where he has a modified no-trade clause in his contract. So at the start of this season, he has what they call a 20-team no-trade list. So he submits a list of 20 teams to the to the Carolina Hurricanes and say, you cannot trade me to any of these 20 teams unless I approve it. Now, everyone else, you can trade me at any time. So, again, you are limited in terms of what you can do in terms of if you wanted to make a trade, but that player or the team that you're looking to trade him to is on Freddie's no-trade list, Freddie would have to waive that clause in his contract in order to approve a trade. But that number shrinks down to just 5 teams if he plays in under 1/3 of the games by the middle part of February, which is the Olympics. So again, a lot of that's kind of like health determined and thing along those lines. So we'll see. We'll see what the Carolina Hurricanes do regarding their goaltending. It would not surprise me if they keep all 3. Because again, Pyotr Kochekhov's been nicked up and missed time twice already this season. We are 30 games into the season, and he's already missed time. We'll see. Right now, Bussey's the guy. It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Vodenecker producing the show this afternoon, getting you set for not just some more Canes hockey this weekend, not just getting you set for some college basketball in the state of North Carolina, but also getting you set for, Carolina Panthers. They have every opportunity to completely seize control of the season this Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. How well do they handle the pressure? We'll discuss that and more next.
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
Shoot, he scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I'm helping you celebrate the 10 days of Canesmas here on 99.9 The Fan, presented by Hardee's and Surfside Vodka. Let's celebrate our hometown hockey team love right now. 919-860-5326. Be caller 10, and you'll score a $50 gift card from Hardee's. $50. That's 919-860-5326. Then listen to The Drive this afternoon for more chances to celebrate Canesmas with us. Thanks to Hardee's and Surfside Vodka.
Surfside is the perfect fit this holiday season. Whether you're watching football, hitting the slopes, or warming up by the fire, there's nothing better than enjoying your favorite Surfside canned cocktail to keep the good times going. Made with real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's smooth, easy to sip, and always refreshing. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Ask for it at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
This holiday, give the gift that celebrates every moment. An Omega watch from Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Explore the largest Omega showroom in the area and discover timepieces crafted with Swiss precision and timeless design. Visit Bailey's today in Raleigh's Village District or online at baileybox.com. Voted best place to buy a watch.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
It's bow time. 'Tis the season for food and family, but thanks to Bojangles, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen when loved ones come home for the holidays. Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls, because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites like Chicken Supreme, Cajun Filet Biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. It's bow time.
If it's ho-ho-ho time, it's Bo-Bo-Bo time. Time to order a party-sized platter of that bodacious Bojangles flavor before your next holiday celebration. Choose a Bojangles Supremes platter and get 50 whole breast tenderloin fillets. Or go with a Bojangles dessert platter and get 2 dozen Bo-Berry biscuits, 2 dozen cinnamon twists, or 1 dozen of each. It's a platter full of Bo-liciousness. And don't forget to pick up Bojangles gift cards. Just the right gift for anyone on your list. Hurry, it's Bo time.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
This is Adam Gold.
Soap attracts dirt, right? That's what soap does. It attracts dirt. Right now, Bill Belichick is soap. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's soap.
Yeah.
He's attracting all this dirt.
Or he's like an overripe banana and it's attracting all these gnats.
The Adam Gold Show.
The NFC South can firmly be in the clutches of the hands of the Carolina Panthers after this coming Sunday. The Atlanta Falcons beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night 29-28. The Panthers and the Falcons and the Saints we're all been chasing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the NFC South title. All have been chasing the Bucs. But now, thanks to back-to-back wins by NFC South teams against Tampa Bay in the New Orleans Saints and Atlanta Falcons, the Panthers at 7-6 are alone atop of the NFC South. Alone atop the NFC South. They are the division leader in the NFC South. The Buccaneers fell to 7-7. So the opportunity this Sunday for the Carolina Panthers to take against the New Orleans Saints, it's 100% theirs to take. By the way, it's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Vodecker producing the show. We have seen this Carolina Panthers team over the last 6 weeks flip-flop back and forth between wins and losses. Wins and losses, wins and losses. Wins against some good teams. We've seen them beat the LA Rams, obviously, just a couple of weeks ago, 31-28 at Bank of America Stadium, which I said is the most complete team win for the Panthers, not just this season, but since Dave Canales arrived. From the running game being as effective as it was, when you had Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle combining for 35 carries, remember correctly, I think it was 137 yards just on the ground between the two of them on 35 carries. You have Bryce Young coming up with big-time passes on fourth down to Jalen Coker, as well as Teteroa McMillan, a big third down completion on a game-sealing drive to Jalen Coker from Bryce Young. The efficiency, 15 of 20 passing. It's like, oh, yeah, just 206, but the efficiency at which it happened, and also the team putting themselves in manageable third down situations on offense. If you look at the 15 third down attempts for the Carolina Panthers, which technically one of them was a kneel down by Bryce Young, whatever. But nonetheless, you look at the 15 third down attempts, 9 of them were 5 yards or less because they put themselves in that position offensively. Then defensively, you got 2 red zone turnovers. Now, don't get me wrong. The Rams got their points. They still scored 28 points. But you got 2 red zone turnovers. One early in the game, Derek Brown deflects a pass. Nick Scott comes down with an interception in the end zone. And then late in the game, Rams get inside the red zone. There's a penalty, delay of game, pushes them back a little bit. It's 3rd and 10. Derek Brown gets to Matt Stafford, strip sack. Recovered by DJ Wanham. And also earlier, you had the interception by Mike Jackson. So you got efficiency in your pass game, strong run game, and the defense came up with turnovers. And again, the pick 6 by Mike Jackson. The most complete game. How do they follow it up? That's the biggest question I have for this Carolina Panthers team moving forward. It's how do they follow it up? We saw them on the road in Green Bay. Not a great passing game from Bryce Young in Green Bay. I understand people are going to say, well, it was windy. Yeah, 11 of 20 for like 102 yards and an interception. I knew he was coming off the ankle injury and all that kind of stuff. I get it. But Rico Dowdle had an absolutely outstanding game, and the defense was absolutely phenomenal in a 16-13 win. Rico Dowdle, 150 yards on the ground in that game. How'd you build off it? Well, you didn't. You lost 17-7 the next week against the New Orleans Saints, where you throw for 122 yards. And let's not forget the only scoring drive that the Panthers had in that game against New Orleans the first time they played at Bank of America Stadium. That drive only continued on a play where Bryce Young threw an interception to DeMario Davis when he was trying to hit JT Sanders across the middle of the field, deep down the middle. There was a roughing the passer call. That's what extended the drive. Then Rico Dowdle scores a touchdown. But the Saints shut down your running game. And you lost 17-7, and there were moments where Tyler Shuck, in his second career start at quarterback for the Saints, looked phenomenal. So then you followed that up with your best passing game we've ever seen from Bryce Young. The following week, he gets Atlanta. And then against the Niners, you lose 20-9, where Bryce doesn't look good. The offense is completely inefficient. Dave Canales doesn't run the ball. It's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So my question is, after your most complete team win a couple of weeks ago and with the bye week, how much did the Carolina Panthers mentally learn about themselves to get themselves ready for this game against the Saints? The pressure is on them to win. I actually view it, the pressure is on them to win. You might look at it and say, well, with the Falcons beating the Buccaneers, you can afford a loss to the Saints. Technically, mathematically, yes, absolutely. That is a true statement. But why would you want to cede that control back? It's hard enough to climb up, and we saw this Panthers team start 1-3. It was hard enough to climb just to get to a tie with the NFC South lead, and you needed some help by other teams like the Saints and Falcons over the last 2 weeks to beat the Bucs just to get into this position. Why would you want to cede control to someone else when you can take it yourself? That's what's at stake for this team. If there's, again, I talked about the inconsistency of this team as a whole. If there's something positive about this last 4-game stretch, and especially going into this game against the Saints, did you know that the Panthers have 20 of their 22 starters from the beginning of the season starting this week? Week 15 of the NFL. You still have 20 of your 22 starters. By the way, all 53 players on their roster, full go. Claude Charles, J.C. Horn, both clear concussion protocol. They're 100% ready to go this weekend. Kate Mays, who's missed a couple of games because of an ankle injury, 100% full go, full participant in practice. Lathan Ransom, dealing with a thumb injury, full go in practice. Christian Roseboom, starting off-ball linebacker, dealing with hip and hamstring issue. They missed him some time. He got injured in the game against the Falcons, so he missed a couple of games. 100% full participant. 0 injury designation. No probables, no questionables, no doubtfuls. Everyone is available on your 53-man roster. And on a roster where on defense you did lose earlier this season, you lost starter Pat Jones, outside linebacker. Lost him for the season due to a back injury, but you've had rookie Nick Scorton, the second-round pick, playing well in his place. And obviously Robert Hunt, the starting right guard, been out for a while after a biceps injury. He might actually return potentially in the next few weeks. We'll have to sit there and wait and see. But you have 20 of your 22 starters back. Now, I understand as well that you lost Corey Thornton due to an ankle injury. He broke his fibula a couple weeks ago against, I think it was against Atlanta. It was either against Atlanta or it was against San Francisco. Either way, I know you lost a depth piece in Corey Thornton. I know David Moore, the wide receiver, out as well. Those guys dealing with injuries and stuff. They're on injured reserve. But also, let's not forget, at the beginning of the season, you didn't have Jalen Coker, and he's in the mix. And he's been playing much better as the season has gone along. This team is healthy. And again, in context for the NFL, they're healthy. Coming off a bye. Everything is available for this Panthers team. And we're going to learn a lot about Dave Canales and Bryce Young this coming Sunday. You're going to learn a ton about Bryce Young and Dave Canales as head coach. Bryce Young at quarterback. How do they handle the pressure? Did Dave Canales overthink things? Because a lot of the teams, what they do during their bye week, they do what's called a self-scout, where the offensive coaching staff will look at the defense, and then vice versa, the defensive staff will look at the offense, being like, hey, this is what I'm seeing, this is how I would exploit you, all that kind of stuff. Do they overthink it? Paralysis by analysis. Do they overthink it? We'll see. We'll see where they improved upon as a team. They got to take care of business this Sunday against the Saints. And by the way, I'm done giving predictions on the Panthers this season. They're so inconsistent.
Yeah.
I said it on a podcast I host, Panthers Playbook, with Chris Lee from WRL Sports in Raleigh. I said to him going into the Saints game, because we do the show out at Bank of America Stadium at home games, I said, look, I don't feel good about the Rams game going in. I don't feel good about it at all. I didn't like the way the offense was playing coming off the game against the 49ers. I didn't have a lot of confidence in the team. Rams coming in hot, best team in the NFL. Still the best team in the NFL in my eyes. I just wasn't feeling good. But I said, you know what? If I'm wrong, I'll stand there in the field of Bank of America Stadium when we do the show, and I'll point to the scoreboard and say I was wrong. Well, let's just say I stood there at the scoreboard and pointed at it and said I was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm done trying to make predictions for this Panthers team. I don't know what to expect. And I think that's the frustrating, I don't want to say frustrating thing, but it definitely has Panthers fans uneasy. I know, Victoria, you can speak to this as well.
For sure.
It's okay to be uneasy going into this game against the Saints. It's a weird of like, we know we can beat the Saints. We can take the NFC South.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it would not shock me if they lost this one 31-7.
Yeah.
It would not.
These division rivalry games, too, are just, like, drunk all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it
100%.
doesn't matter. They just have a mind of their own, because we went into that Saints game thinking, oh, it's the Saints. Like, this should be right? No, yeah, no. And then loss.
I know. Gosh.
So let's not do that again, please, this Sunday.
Yeah, please none of that.
Yeah. You
Please
have control of it. Like, I don't know. Hopefully, they ended things on a good note, had the bye week with good momentum, good mindset, and they know who they are and can stick to it. That's also the other thing. Stick to who you are and what you're good at.
Stick to your identity.
Yes.
The line, I say, the path for the Panthers to take the division and make the playoffs is crystal clear. You beat the Saints on Sunday. You beat them on Sunday. And then once you take care of business on Sunday, you come back home against Tampa Bay, who is going to be desperate. Who's going to be desperate because Tampa Bay has to beat you at Bank of America Week 16. Tampa, that is a must-win game for the Bucs, especially if you beat the Saints this Sunday. But you beat the Saints this Sunday, and then you beat the Bucs at home Week 16. The NFC South title, you have officially won it. You've clinched a playoff spot, and you have a home playoff game in January. Really, then the last 2 weeks of the season are kind of like, what seed are we? That's it. That's all it is. That is what's in front of you. It's crystal clear. Can you take it? It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. By the way, speaking of crystal clear opportunities, real quick, college basketball this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas might as well be part of the ACC because Kansas has already played Duke and Carolina this season. NC State hosts Kansas, number 19 in the country, this coming Saturday. Tomorrow at the Lenovo Center. It's a 5:30 p.m. I'm about to say puck drop, but it's a late afternoon tip or early evening tip-off at the Lenovo Center. One thing I will say about NC State, I just want to touch on this real quick, is we want to get to a blind ranking of Carolina Panthers players. I'm sorry, Carolina Hurricanes players. My apologies. Real quick here on NC State basketball. NC State, talk about opportunities and what's in front of them, they need to have a signature win. They really do. I think a win against Kansas, in my eyes, is going to help validate everything Will Wade, the head coach, has been talking about since he took the job months ago. We want to compete with the best in the country. We want to be a top 4 team in the ACC. We're going to win not win the NCAA tournament, but we're going to make the NCAA tournament. Top team in the ACC, finishing top 4, making the NCAA tournament. You got to win these kinds of games. And this is an NC State team that really desperately needs a signature win. They really do. I mean, yes, it's good that you beat VCU. It's good that you beat Boise State. But losing to Texas and some of these other games that you lost, you need to have one that boosts your resume a little bit more. And also, you got to find out if people are actually going to take you seriously as a program. Right now, NC State is 30th in net ranking in the NCAA. 30th, which is good. That's a good place to be. And Kansas sitting right now at 19th in net rankings. Not only ranked 19th, but in net rankings 19. It's a quad 1 game for NC State. It is a quad 1 game, which is one of the things that's looked at heavily when it comes to the NCAA tournament. Right now, they are 1-2 in quad 1 games. 1-2. You get a win against Kansas, which, by the way, we've heard Will Wade going into the game against Liberty and even after the game against Liberty talking about we need better effort from our players. We get too many guys that are thinking they're just going to go to the NBA. They're overlooking stuff. They're not putting the work into the details or just simply just not putting in effort as a whole. Now, we saw them mollywop Liberty 85-45 on Wednesday night, and even Will Wade after the game was like, yeah, that's still not good enough. That's better effort. It'll look shocking to people because we haven't been that all season, but that's the way we need to play on a night in and night out basis. You had a better response to what Will Wade had to say in the game against Liberty. Can you bring that same effort and energy against Kansas? Can you do that? I know Darian Williams, their star guard / small forward that they brought in this offseason from Texas Tech via the transfer portal. I know that apparently he suffered a shoulder injury against Texas. If I remember correctly, that was the Maui Invitational, suffered a shoulder injury. They need him, Darian Williams. Again, I know he's playing through an injury and all that kind of stuff, but he needs to be more impactful. Preseason ACC Player of the Year. I know, again, playing through injuries, it sucks. It stinks. It obviously has a negative impact on how you play. they need him to bring more. Plain and simple. They need him to bring more and be more effective. Maybe you can't score. Maybe it's how you defend, how you pass, whatever it might be. They just need more from him. It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria! Real quick, we're going to do a quick blind ranking. The Carolina Hurricanes got a win last night. They are 30 games into the season. So, Victoria, we're going to do a blind ranking. Victoria's going to give me the name of 5 Carolina Hurricanes players, and I'm going to rank them blindly 1 through 5 on the impact that they've had so far this season. Victoria, take it away. Who's the first name on the list?
So, first up, which I had forgotten, but it was actually one of my bets yesterday.
Okay.
So, even though I didn't predict which period it happened nonetheless. Ehlers with the goal in the second period, not the first. So, we'll start off with him.
Nikolai Ehlers. Okay, so blind ranking is his through the first 30 games of the season. A slow start. I actually thought he was playing all right, but just wasn't registering any points. Now, he's up to 21 points on the season, which is actually 4th highest on the team, behind Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, and Shane Gostisbehere. His speed is noticeable out there on the ice. So blind ranking, and all 5 slots are open right now. I'm comfortable putting Nikolai Ehlers at 3. I'll put Nikolai Ehlers at 3 right now in the blind ranking.
Okay. Next up, we have Taylor Hall.
Taylor Hall. Oh, my gosh. Taylor Hall's versatility to move up and down the lineup is such a benefit for Rob Brind'Amour. Because when there are injuries and stuff during the course of the season, we saw Taylor Hall play up with Jordan Staal, Jordan Martinook. We've seen him play up even as high as in a top 6 forward role. Obviously, he's been well entrenched on the quote-unquote 4th line for that team. And he and Eric Robinson as wing pairs are phenomenal together. If they had a better center play between those two, that line could really just dominate other teams' 4th lines. I'll put Taylor Hall comfortably at number 4, right there behind Nikolai Ehlers. So I have Nikolai Ehlers at 3, Taylor Hall at 4, which leaves 1, 2, and 5 available.
All right. Now we have Shane Gostisbehere.
Oh, Ghost. Okay, so Ghost has only played in, he's missed 9 games. So he's played in 21. And one of those games he left after the first period. But he's still 3rd on the team in points with 22 this season, and he's plus 10. His ability to move the puck and just... I'm going to put him at 2. I'm going to put Shane Gostisbehere at number 2. Just because I think he's having one of the best seasons of his career offensively. He's been overall, it's been outstanding. Outstanding. Is he the best on the Canes in terms of in his own defensive zone among the blue liners? No. He's not, and that's okay. But what he's doing offensively, how well he moves the puck, he's awesome.
Yep.
He's been fantastic. So I will put Shane Gostisbehere at 2. So you give me Ehlers, I put at 3. Mm-hmm. You give me Taylor Hall, I put at 4. You give me Gostisbehere, I put at 2, which leaves me 1 and 5 available open. I'm kind of scared what's going to happen next, but here we go.
You may have put yourself in a corner, but you don't know. So next up is Jackson Blake.
Oh, dang it. Dang it. Jackson, we have to remind ourselves with Jackson Blake that he's just a second-year player.
Yeah.
He's just in his second season as a full-time NHL player. He already has 8 goals and 10 assists this season. He's plus 1. He's kind of got the Andrei Svechnikov, I'm taking a lot of penalties type deal going on right now. He has 22 penalty minutes on the season. But as a whole, he's already just about at the halfway point of his goal total from last year. He's already reached beyond. He had 34 points last year. He had 17 goals, 17 assists. So 34 points. He's already reached half of that in 30 games. So he's on a much better point per game pace. But it's hard for me to say he's... I'll put him at 5. I'll put him at 5 because it's hard for me to put him above Ehlers and Hall and Gostisbehere, Blaysoff. Okay, so I'll put him at 5. All right, so you give me Nikolai Ehlers, I put him at 3. You give me Taylor Hall, I put him at 4. You give me Gostisbehere, I put him at 2. And you give me Jackson Blake, I put him at 5, which leaves number 1 for who?
That would be Logan Stankoven.
All right. I love Stankoven.
I do.
I love Stankoven, which, by the way, I talked to Rob Brindamore one-on-one about this a little bit, about a week or so ago, about Stankoven, about how he's handling the move to center, because let's also not forget when it comes to Stankoven, this is Stankoven's second full-time season in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
Just his second full-time year, and it's his first full season with the Carolina Hurricanes. He's still adapting to play in the NHL and the Kane system and moving to center at the same time. Overall, he's handling it quite well. All right, so the blind ranking goes as this of Carolina Hurricanes players through the first 30 games of the season. Logan Stankoven comes in at number 1. Shane Gostisbehere comes in at number 2. Nikolai Ehlers comes in at 3. Number 4 is Taylor Hall, and number 5 is Jackson Blake.
Mm-hmm.
There's your blind ranking of Canes players through the first 30 games of the season. It's the Adam Gold Show. On the other side, we need to take a quick stretch. We also need to play some bets next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Troxler, North Carolina Commissioner of Agriculture. Farming's tough, but you're not alone. That's why the North Carolina Agri-Medicine Institute offers the North Carolina Farm Helpline, a free 24/7 resource for the agriculture community. Long hours, difficult decisions, and unexpected challenges can add up. Whether you need to talk to a counselor who understands farming or help with finances, legal questions, or farm safety, call 844-325-3276. That's 844-325-3276, the North Carolina Farm Helpline, a free 24/7 resource for the agriculture community. 844-325-3276, because no one should face farm life alone.
As we wind down the high school football sports season and head into the holidays, the Governor's Highway Safety Program would like to remind you to buckle your seatbelt when traveling to and from athletic events. Wearing a seatbelt is your best defense against injury or death in a crash. Start the season off right and prioritize your safety by buckling up. Every seat, every time. Remember, click it or ticket. It's the law. This message is brought to you by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association and the Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Open enrollment for health insurance is here, but don't worry. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance has you covered for all your health insurance needs, including Medicare. And with offices in every county, a trusted, experienced agent is just around the corner, ready to help find a plan that's right for you. Visit ncfbins.com or stop by your local office today. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, and you have reached Friday, and it is time to be happy. In fact, FanDuel can feel your vibe. They've got an NBA happy hour that is so happy it takes 90 minutes to experience it. Here's what happens between 6 and 7:30 p.m. Eastern. FanDuel, limited time specials to get you in the zone. They have boosts, they have bonuses, surprises, all designed to make Fridays extra happy. It's the Friday NBA happy hour and a half. Every Friday, 6 to 7:30 Eastern. Only on FanDuel. FanDuel.com/AGS. FanDuel.com/AGS. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Sometimes the simplest steps make the biggest difference. Washing your hands often, staying home when you're sick, and talking with your health provider about vaccines.
Help keep your family protected against the flu, RSV, and COVID. Simple steps, big protection.
Defend yourself. Get vaccinated to protect you and your family from respiratory illnesses this season. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find yours today.
Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements. and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
This is Adam Gold.
Soap attracts dirt, right? That's what soap does. It attracts dirt. Right now, Bill Belichick is soap. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's soap.
Yeah.
He's attracting all this dirt.
Or he's like an overripe banana and it's attracting all these gnats.
The Adam Gold Show.
Speaking of Carolina, real quick, Bill Belichick actually fired 2 coaches. He fired offensive coordinator Freddie Kitchens, and he also fired special teams coordinator Mike Pryfer. So that news actually came this morning as a statement announced by the team earlier this morning. We'll dive more into that here in just a little bit. But until then, Victoria, it's that time of show. It's that time of day where we do need a little stretch. Take it away, mate.
Always good to stretch, for sure. Well, I don't know if it's always good to spend this kind of money on memorabilia. So, I don't know if you're a big Elf fan. I know for a lot of people that's
the movie
like,
Elf?
Yes.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I remember at school, too. Like, they always played Elf around this time of year. Well, if you're a big Elf fan, then maybe you would think to spend this much money. Probably not. But one of Will Ferrell's Elf costumes actually went to auction in the UK last Friday. Now, this is the costume that he wore when he pushed the button on the elevator and he thought it looked like a Christmas tree.
You mean all of the buttons?
All the buttons.
And everyone's like, really?
Are we doing this? Are we really doing this? So, if you would like to take a crack at it, how much do you think that outfit in particular that Will Ferrell wore?
I'll take a shot. $500K.
$500K? Not quite. A little less, but still way too much. $319,000.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Yes.
No way someone paid $319,000 for that.
What
Are you serious?
do you do for a living, person in the UK? Because that's ridiculous. But here's even more ridiculous information coming at you, because that wasn't even the most expensive thing that sold.
Wait, what?
I know. It wasn't from the Elf movie, but it was from other movies.
Go
So
on.
the next highest, or higher, I should say, one of Harrison Ford's fedoras.
Now we're talking.
From Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
No, okay, now we're talking.
Yes, that one. Do you want to take a guess at how much that one sold for?
Oh, I'll go back to $500,000.
Okay, so you're getting closer because this one sold for $437,000.
That's wild.
So, yeah. And then the most expensive thing that they have on here, which it doesn't say if it's the most out of everything that day, but at least for movies, this is probably high up there. And I'm not surprised at all because I know Star Wars fans.
You're talking to one of them right now.
Exactly.
Tread lightly.
Exactly. No. They'll spend a lot of money on stuff.
Oh, yes, we will.
Like, just different little trinkets, things like that. So I'm not surprised at all that this went for as much as it did. But Boba Fett's blaster from The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Do you want to take a guess at that one?
Okay, now you're talking Star Wars Boba Fett, which is just...
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if it was $650,000.
Okay. Well, you're not far off.
Okay.
$613,000.
Oh, okay. I was pretty close. Price is Right rules I still busted,
we
but
know
still
how
pretty darn
much
close.
you might spend on something, maybe.
Trust me, if I had that kind of money,
Oh, man.
I don't know if I'd be talking right now.
Yeah, it's like, that's the thing. I don't know. If it means that much to you and you have the money for it, then I guess go for it. But you know what could happen?
What's that?
You could make some really, really good bets and make some money.
Yes!
Place your bets. Do you? I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal in Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me.
I owe you.
I would want to have the lightsaber that was given to Luke Skywalker in A New Hope, the original movie from Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That would be fun.
Which was Anakin's. That would be the movie prop I want from Star Wars.
you
But
go.
maybe I can win that, Victoria, if we play some bets.
I know.
Victoria, go ahead and make your first bet here.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sad because this is the last UFC card of 2025. It's this Saturday. It's UFC Vegas 112, so got to start there. Amanda Lamos versus Jillian Robertson. Jillian, with her red hair, is a beast. She's also getting really good at submission, and so I am going to take Robertson by submission plus 220.
Okay, I'm going to go to the NFL straight with this one. New England Patriots at home against the Buffalo Bills. Drake May stamps
he might
his
submit.
case. No, he's not going to submit. No, he's going to, he's going to submit his final push for being NFL MVP.
Yeah.
Patriots plus 100 at home. Give me the Pats.
Nice. So also we have a little PFL this weekend, which is like UFC, but it's the Professional Fighter League. And we have someone who, if you watch MMA, you know her name, Chris Cyborg versus Sarah Collins.
Okay.
Chris, she is still going at it, even at her age, and she is fierce. So, and she's a huge favorite in this one, too. It doesn't let me specify how she wins, but give me Chris Cyborg to win. She's minus 650 right now. You could put it in a parlay, or if they do offer it, take it by knockout.
Okay. Sounds like it's going to be an easy win.
Whatever number that is.
Give me the Denver Broncos at home against the Green Bay Packers. Give me the Broncos at home with that defense. Plus 110. I'll take the Broncos at home on the money line. Plus 110.
Nice. Well, and like you've mentioned before, I am not going to predict the Panthers game because I don't want to jinx it, and it's not worth it. So give me Tataroa McMillan, though, to be an anytime touchdown score in football.
Okay, anytime footballer. Got it.
Yeah, plus 155.
Okay, final one here. Chargers at Chiefs. Give me the Chargers plus 205 on the road. Buries the Chiefs. Taking all plus money here. Wall of Sound, Brandon Bussey. He's the man. Next.
Asheville to Wilmington, Boone to Durham. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Excuse me, garçon. I'll pick up the tab for the lady and I.
Sir, this is Monopoly money.
And there's more where that came from.
I'm calling the cops.
Don't waste your time. I have a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Start playing for real money. New Monopoly scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have real cash wins of up to $1 million. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.83 to 4.28. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
When building clients come knocking, open the door to the best products and service at Commercial Openings, your one-stop shop for everything commercial swinging doors and door hardware. Commercial Openings has over 2,000 doors in stock, and we have on-staff consultants to help you pick the right doors and hardware for your project. We also stock bathroom partitions and accessories such as grab bars and mirrors. Come see our showroom at 3904 Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh, or see our impressive inventory at commercialopenings.com.
Hey guys, this is Marcy Bailey from Bailey's Fine Jewelry, and we know that you want to get your wife or girlfriend something special this Christmas, but sometimes you just don't know what to get. You wonder, what will she like? What will make her feel special? What will make her say, wow? At Bailey's Fine Jewelry, we have experts that are here to help. We specialize in making you look like a hero. You can even send her in to make a wish list that we keep on file to help make your life just a little bit easier. Bailey's has the largest selection of jewelry in North Carolina, including designers like David Yurman, Lagos, Marco Biccigo, and Apolita, as well as beautifully curated Bailey's collections. And don't fret, because if for some reason she doesn't love your gift, we have a 30-day return policy. Our goal is to be your go-to jeweler for life. Bailey's Fine Jewelry, located in Raleigh's Village District, Cary's Fenton, also in Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Coach, I look at people on Instagram and TikTok, and I'm scrolling through, and I'm like, man, they must have it made. And I look at like fit bodies and people living in big houses, but I think to myself, no, they have discipline, and that's the difference, and that's what they've saved for, and that's what we need to have right now if we want to retire with some money in the bank.
They have discipline or a good editor.
Yeah.
People can make themselves look a lot better online, and you're never going to post bad things.
Amen.
So I tell my daughter, see,
don't judge your life against what you see online, because you're only getting a quarter of the story. If you're happy within and you have a good plan, really doesn't matter what the Joneses are up to, does it?
Amen.
So we don't need to keep up with anybody. We need to make sure that we're keeping up with our trends and what we want to have in retirement. If you want to retire, let's put together a retirement plan. And let me give you my book, The Big Book on Retirement. So if you call now, I'll give you a no cost or no obligation total retirement plan and my book, The Big Book on Retirement.
919-794-7900. 919-794-7900. Or text Amanda to 600-700.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
In World War I, American fighter pilots covering a plane's rear position coined the phrase, "I've got your six," to mean "I've got your back." Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org using the number 6.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wines and beers all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and more. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Just the mental speed of the game, not being around it, not being in it, and thinking that after a couple years out, I could actually step back onto a football field and play anywhere close and process anywhere close to what I was doing when I was playing, after having not done that and been in that kind of setting for a while.
I am genuinely intrigued about what Phillip Rivers is going to look like if he does play this Sunday.
Oh, me too.
I
can't wait.
genuinely am curious to see what it's going to look like.
I said yesterday, the ratings, the TV ratings are going to be like
yeah, absolutely.
times a million, because there's a ton of us out there who are like, what's he going to look like? Grandpa, literally.
Yeah, literally grandpa. We don't say that like, because he's 44 years old. The man literally is a grandfather.
Dude is a granddaddy.
His oldest son is 23, 24, and,
I think
has
24.
a kid.
Mm-hmm. And his youngest is 2 or 3. I think 2. Make it make sense.
You know what the crazy thing is? By the way, it's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold. Victoria Vonecker producing the show. You know what the crazy thing is? Is that his grandchild and his youngest child, for Phillip Rivers, could be in high school together.
I'd be
like, oh yeah, that's my aunt.
Oh wow.
Or
how
uncle,
weird
whatever
is that?
it is.
They could share clothes.
They could actually get hand-me-downs.
Exactly.
That's just.
Yeah, I grew up with my grandpa's clothes or my aunt's clothes or whatever.
I don't know if they're boys or girls or whatever the dynamic of that is. But imagine if, let's say, if they were both boys or both girls and they're in high school together, like they're on the same sports team.
What a dynamic.
That's just.
Wow.
I mean, imagine being Phillip Rivers' oldest kid could show up to the sporting event to support their sibling and their child at the same time.
That's crazy. What a scenario. Wow.
It's really hitting me.
That's one way, I guess, to be able to meet your mate. Because that's like, so unfortunately for me, all of my grandparents have passed away. And so that, I don't have any left. So I guess on one side, at least you don't have to worry about not seeing your grandparents.
There's an element to that, it's just,
so weird. You get your driver's license together. We're getting our permits, celebrate your 21st birthdays together. Go to prom. Oh my gosh. Go to prom.
Imagine that.
Oh, wow. All these like
you're doing prom photos for your grandchild and your child at the same time.
Woof. Wow. All these all these scenarios.
They're on the homecoming court together.
Wow.
Okay, we can go down this rabbit hole.
Wow.
You know what?
Be careful who you date, too, because you don't want to cross those boundaries.
For real. For real.
Wow. So weird.
We went left. Let's correct this thing. Let's get to the wall of sound.
The wall of sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
It's a Friday.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to I'm picking because it's real.
I know.
It's a real thing.
It could really happen.
And
It will really happen.
He's probably playing this Sunday for the Colts.
I know.
On the road in Seattle. It could go like, wow, this is super awesome. Like, look at Phillip Rivers. Dude just dropped like 225 yards and a couple touchdowns or whatever it is. Or it's like, hey, man, you all right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's get you home.
Papa Rivers, you okay?
Let's get you home, man. Let's like,
Here's some icy hot.
You know what? You gave it a go. I respect it. We'll induct you in the Hall of Fame in 5 years.
Check that box.
Come on in.
Yeah.
Let Riley Leonard. That's just.
Wow. It's fantastic.
Love it. You know what else is fantastic? When you hear coaches crash out in a post game.
Especially the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Exactly. If you're a Panthers fan, you're going to love this. And if you don't like the Panthers, just enjoy Todd Bowles, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just venting.
What do you tell them in the locker room after a game like this?
It's inexcusable. You don't make excuses. You gotta f***ing care enough where the shit hurts. You gotta f***ing care enough where the shit hurts. It gotta f***ing mean something to you. It's more than a job. It's your f***ing livelihood. How well do you know your job? How well can you do your job? Well, you can't sugarcoat that shit. It was inexcusable, and there's no f***ing answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room. Look in the f***ing mirror.
Went off. Someone's big mad.
Oh, that's mad. That's big mad.
That's like the veins coming out of your neck and your forehead mad.
The fact that you can work the F word into the middle of another word and it bleeping excusable is awesome.
I know. We established earlier in the show that we were running out of fingers to count.
There was literally in the 26-second answer by Todd Bowles just now, 10 words had to be bleeped out.
Yeah.
10.
That's like
10.
2.3 seconds per cuss word.
2.6.
Yeah,
2.6. There's the math for you. 2.6. 2.6.
There you go.
I mean, you always hear, like for example, I think it was Dave Canales before the season. You hear Bryce Young say, hey, we want the ball out, 2.7 seconds, right? That's the kind of efficiency you want in the pocket from your quarterback. The ball out in 2.6 seconds. Follow the Todd Bowles rule of cussing.
Yeah.
2.6 seconds. That's how fast the ball's got to get out. That's at the rate at which Todd Bowles cussing in the post game.
Mm-hmm.
That was just hilarious.
He went in.
Because that is the sound of a coach. Which, by the way, I know it's wall sound. We're getting some more sound bites here in a second. Because we hear from head coach Rod Brindamore on last night's win for the Carolina Hurricanes here in a second. But that is the sound of a coach in Todd Bowles, who's now looking at his team and his situation where they have no control.
Yeah.
Because they don't.
It's granted, too, because they were up 14 points in the fourth quarter.
Uh-huh.
And they defense decided, you know what? I'm going to get some Gatorade. I'm just going to go in the locker room.
You blew it.
Yeah.
You 100%
It's ridiculous.
blew
but
it.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Hey, man. Hey, Todd.
I'm here for it.
Great work, brother.
Yep. Let's
Great
keep that.
work.
Hey, just remember that in a few weeks, please. Thank you. Okay.
Great work, man. Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But again, the team, the Bucks, this team lost all control of their own situation, having lost to the Falcons yesterday and this past Sunday to the Saints. They lost all control. Now they have to walk in the path of the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Panthers now are alone at the top. We'll dive into the Panthers and all that stuff here in a little bit. Coming up here in about 22 minutes or so, the conversation I had earlier this week, just on Wednesday, a couple days ago, with Ickey Ekwonu, the left tackle of the Carolina Panthers. I had a one-on-one conversation with him. You'll hear that conversation in about 22 minutes. But until then, Victoria, we got to continue the wall of sound. And speaking of coaches that actually had great things to say, it's actually the head coach, Rob Brindamore, about his team's win last night against Washington, the 3-2 shootout win for the Canes against the Caps. Here's Rob Brindamore, the head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, summing up that win against Washington.
It's kind of up and down. We played great for 2 periods. I mean, should have had, I think, a few more. I think we hit a few goalposts there. Like, we were really on it. And then, you knew they were going to have that push. That's why it would have been nice to have a couple more in there, because then here they came and we kind of were on our heels the whole period. But give the guys a lot of credit. We found a way to, tie it up. And then, our goaltending was just great tonight again. So that allowed us to, pull it out.
Awesome game last night. And I know we talked about Brandon Busty and stuff a lot. We'll dive more into the Carolina Hurricanes and stuff here in just a bit. We'll kind of do like a little bit of a look through about the Canes 30 games into the season. What have we learned about this team? And do we potentially see Jacob Slavin back here in the very near future? I mean, we haven't seen this team complete yet. We'll dive into that here in a few minutes. But one thing about last night's game is that you're going on the road to one of the toughest teams in the NHL in Washington, who at the time was the top team in the Eastern Conference going into the game, the top team in the Metropolitan Division. That's where they were sitting going into last night's game. And Carolina was awesome in the first 2 periods. Absolutely awesome. But in the third period early on, the Washington Capitals got a power play. Now, they didn't score on that power play, but they generated momentum off of it. And eventually they scored to take a 2-1 lead. But as we'll hear Jordan Martin talk about, this Carolina Hurricanes team still did not deviate from their style of play.
Yeah, I think you look at those first 2 periods, we were pouring it on and we were getting a ton of chances. And then when you're tied, you're like, okay, well, you just, obviously, you got to try and stick with what was making us successful there in the first 2 periods. And then they started kind of pushing back, and then they get the goal, so you're a little worried. But then I think after they scored, it was almost like a little wake-up call in the third. And we stuck with it from there, and I think that's a great win to get, knowing that if you kind of stick with your games, good things are going to happen.
They stuck with it, as you heard Jordan Martin say. Same thing with Logan Stankoven. He said the same thing. They just stuck with their plan. Even Brandon Busty said it after the game. They stuck with what they do. They got their legs still going, even there in the third period when they fell behind 2-1. They didn't try and do anything outside of themselves. They stuck true to their identity. Sure enough, Logan Stankoven gets a game-tying goal with just over 2 minutes left. I think Brandon Busty had literally stepped off the ice for to bring on an extra attacker. But it wasn't necessary. They scored. And then, obviously, you were able to earn a win in the shootout as well to get that extra point. And speaking of Logan Stankoven, his line with Jackson Blake, and in particular Nikolai Ehlers, as their head coach Rob Brindamore, you hear him say, they were awesome last night.
Well, they were really good. I mean, Fly was really dynamic tonight. I mean, he was all over it, creating a lot of opportunities for his line mates. They were good too, but I thought he might have been the best player out there tonight.
Yeah, don't disagree. Among the skaters, yeah, he was the best player last night for Carolina. It goes to show you with Ehlers, if you can consistently get that on a night in and night out basis, because let's not forget, he's a player, new city, spent 10 years in Winnipeg. So new city, new situation, and just adapting to a new style of play with new people. It just takes some time. And early on this season, he was playing alongside Sebastian Aho and Seth Jarvis. Then they made the switch, put Andrei Svechnikov with Aho and Ehlers, and they put, with Aho and Jarvis, put Ehlers with Stankoven and Jackson Blake. That line, that trio, was outstanding last night. Absolutely outstanding. Nikolai Ehlers got the first goal for the Canes. It came in the second period, and he also got the assist on the game-tying goal by Stankoven as well. Overall, that line, phenomenal. And they've been playing well. Believe it or not, for Stankoven, that was the first goal he's had in 14 games. It went 14 games without scoring a goal, which is crazy to think because he had been playing well. I'm sure it's definitely a burden lifted off his shoulders to finally see one go into the back of the net. It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Votenecker producing the show as always. Speaking of the Canes, we're 30 games into this thing. It's weird to say that even 30 games in, as we approach the middle part of December, that we still don't fully know who they are. We try and dissect why next.
Still arguing whether hockey or golf has the tougher dress code? The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Do you have a smartphone? Of course you do. Do you have a pocket or pouch or human hand to hold your smartphone? Then you have no excuse. Download the 99.9 The Fan brand new app today and take us with you wherever you go. Your favorite hosts, podcasts, and live sports action all in one place. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Finally, there's an app for 99.9 The Fan. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your holiday with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. For your inner child and your grown-up cravings, the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Sammy Hanna from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, owner, operator. Happy holidays to you, sir. How you doing?
Happy holidays, Adam. Thanks for having us.
So, who do you want to wish a happy holidays to?
Well,
or a Merry Christmas. You can do both.
Well, I want to wish a happy holidays to everyone out there. We appreciate all the listeners, all of our customers, and everybody that's given us an opportunity to join them in their home this year, even just to come out and just help assess their homes during the year. We just appreciate and thank everybody. We've got to be here for our homeowners, and our homeowners are always here for us.
I will tell you this about all the years that I have been A, customer, and B, just associated with you guys. It's the best customer service in the industry. You guys do a great job of making people feel special.
Well, thank you, Adam. We try. It's a lot of work and a lot of people involved, and got a great staff, and we're here for everyone out there.
All right, so you can experience the great customer service. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Stop what you're doing. Aaron's just broke the holiday universe. No payments until January 1st, 2026.
Yep, don't pay a thing until next year and start with just a penny, 1 cent, and you're basically pre-approved. Aaron's been in the community for 70 years, making it easy to get brand new name brand furniture, appliances, electronics, all the great stuff you need. But listen, this is in-store only, so get up and get over to Aaron's today. And don't miss out. Don't just hear about the deals, get them before they're all gone.
Gold. Gold.
Turtle cake? Like, what are we... What?
Isn't that an ice cream?
What? Where's the confetti cake? Because, hello, confetti cake, delicious. With the little, I don't even know if it's real, but the little dots in the icing, like...
None of these are real.
What kind of fake thing that is, but it's delicious. It's my childhood. Like, that wasn't in the top 10. His opinion's invalid to me.
The Adam Gold Show.
Usually at this point in a hockey season, 30 games in, roughly around that mark, you have a pretty decent idea of who you are as a team, at least in terms of like your group. All right, how well do these guys play together? How well does this group play together as a whole? I still don't think we have fully discovered that yet with the Carolina Hurricanes. Because if you look at this Carolina Hurricanes team this season, by the way, Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. You look at this Carolina Hurricanes team so far this season, the simple fact that they have been so ravaged by injuries, especially on the blue line. But I mean, up front, we have seen Jordan Stahl miss 3 games because of illness. We've seen Eric Robinson miss games. We've seen William Carrier miss games. We've seen Jesperi Kotkaniemi miss games, and he's missed a couple games again. On the blue line, Shane Gostisbehere, Keandre Miller, Jacob Slavin, Jalen Chatfield have all missed time. The only guys that have been healthy all season have been Sean Walker and Alexander Nikishin. And Nikishin sat one time as a healthy extra. But we've seen Charles Alexis Legault. We've seen Mike Riley, who's supposed to be the 7th defenseman, have to play a bunch. Joel Nystrom, who's played quite well, believe it or not. Played quite well. I remember actually there was a play last night when Joel Nystrom was chasing the puck down in his own defensive end and got Tom Wilson, the big bad bully on the block, barreling down on him. And Nystrom, who's not a big guy, I think he's listed at 5'11", like a $185, whatever it is, not a big dude, wasn't afraid to put his body in front of Tom Wilson and actually held his own to shield the puck and was able to move the puck away and get it out of harm's way. Like, Joel Nystrom's playing well. But you've seen Dominic Fensori play. Just, it's been a revolving door on the blue line. Gostisbehere, like I said, he missed 9 games this season. Keandre's been in and out of the lineup. Keandre Miller has. So I don't think this team fully knows as a group who they are quite yet. Now, I think we're starting to figure things out, but I still don't know if Rob Brind'Amour fully knows what he wants to do with his defensive pairings yet. At the beginning of the season, we saw in the first 2 games, Jacob Slavin and Sean Walker skating together. We saw Shane Gostisbehere sharing a pair with Alexander Nikishin, and Keandre Miller paired up with Jalen Chatfield. We saw that for 2 games. That's it. Now, this last handful of games, we have seen Nikishin skating with Nystrom. We've seen Jalen Chatfield with Shane Gostisbehere, and we see Keandre Miller with Sean Walker. That's what we have seen over these last 3 or 4 games or so. But when Jacob Slavin comes back, which, by the way, you're hopefully anticipating that going to be soon, he's been practicing with the team. His first few practices with the team, he was wearing a non-contact jersey. So, much like in football, the quarterbacks and the punters and kickers, they'll wear, most oftentimes they're wearing a red jersey or a different colored jersey than everyone else. Like, hey, you don't hit that person. And with the Carolina Hurricanes, the non-contact jersey color is yellow because the defensemen will all be in black and then the forwards will be in some combination of red or white. But non-contact, you wear a yellow. He's been out of that yellow non-contact sweater for a few practices now. So you're hoping that he is going to be returning soon. Now Rob Brindamore then has to figure out again, okay, who plays with who? Who plays with whom? And it's not just this line of forwards or this pair of defensemen. Because Rob Brindamore, and coaches around the NHL will do this, oftentimes in certain situations likes to look at guys in terms of 5-man units. Hey, I'm going to put Jordan Staal out there on the ice in his line with William Carrier and Jordan Martinook out there against the opposing team's top offensive line. Okay, what's the defensive pair I want to be out there with them? And oftentimes we'll treat that as like a 5-man unit. Same thing when it comes to, okay, I've got Sebastian Aho's line out there. What defensive pair do I want them to be out there as a 5-man unit? We saw oftentimes in the game, I remember correctly, it was against Columbus. I want to say it was, I think it was against Columbus, where we saw oftentimes Rob Brindamore was deploying the Sebastian Aho line with Gostisbehere and Chatfield together. That's what we saw as a combination. That was like the 5-man unit that we often saw on the ice together. And they played well. So that's something we have to keep in mind too, is that what is the combination of what defense pair works best with this forward trio, or vice versa? How do they complement each other? Does it help me on the defensive side of things, but maybe I'm lacking on the offensive side of the ice? Or maybe I've got too much offense out here and I'm a little bit liable defensively. Those are all questions that Rob Brindamore has to figure out, and I don't know if he fully has yet. I don't think he fully knows what he has with this group because, again, the full complement of 20 skaters that they had to start this season has only been available for 2 games. Just 2. And I know even recently with Keandre Miller back, Gostisbehere back, Chatfield back, you're still missing, again, Slavin and also Jesperi Kotkaniemi came back for a couple games, but he's been out of the lineup for a couple more since. You still don't know fully what you have, which also makes things difficult in terms of what you want to do about potentially making a move. Well, do we need to go get another forward? Hey, we need to boost the top 6. Well, guess what? We all saw this last year with the Carolina Hurricanes, that if you want to go get a top 6 player, a top 6 forward like they did last year with Mikko Rantanen, it's going to cost you a heavy price. It's just simply what it is. If you want to go get the Tage Thompson, I guarantee you any cup contender around the NHL is calling Buffalo being like, hey, what's the price on Tage Thompson?
Big time. What's
the cost? So now how high are you willing to bid and all those kinds of things? And also as well, I don't know what you have right now on Kochetkov in the sense of, is Kochetkov ready to take the next step as a netminder in terms of being a number 1 goalie? We're seeing Brandon Bussey right now, 10 wins and 11 starts. 10 wins and 11 starts. The only player in NHL history to win 10 games in their first 11 appearances. In NHL history. Can you sustain that? And he's a year older, by the way, than Pyotr Kochetkov. You don't know what Pyotr Kochetkov can still be if he's healthy. Can he take his game to the next level in the sense of being the guy that starts game 1 in the playoffs and is the guy that you lean on heavily throughout? We just don't fully know that yet because, well, he's been nicked up. Now, we know of his injury history. Fortunately, it's a little bit too extensive. But you still don't know what the right combination that you have in net. Maybe it's Bussey and Kochetkov, which then in turn leads into, okay, well then if that's the case, then what do you do with Frederik Andersen? Frederik Andersen has a modified no trade clause where if you wanted to move him before middle part of February, he has this 20-team no trade list. But if he's played in less than 1/3 of the games by the middle part of February, basically the Olympics, then that number shrinks down to just 5 teams, so it's a lot easier to move him. You don't know if you need to make that move yet. The only thing that this team is doing right now is just trying to play consistent game in and game out basis and just banking points. That's it. They're just banking points right now. To the point of they have the best points percentage in the entire Eastern Conference.
Exactly.
So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
That is also it's a little scary in the sense that this team is still playing really, really well, but you still don't know fully what they are in terms of, again, what the group is.
A lot of question marks.
I mean, when Slavin comes back, do you put him with Sean Walker right from the get-go? Or do you maybe ease him back in with his minutes?
Yeah, and how much time do you allow them to try to work the kinks out before you have to make a change?
Exactly. I mean, I would imagine potentially do you put him on a conditioning stint in Chicago? Hey, go play a game down there just to get some reps, low-pressure situation. Do you do that? Or do you even risk him, going down there? I don't know. It's exciting to see how well this team overall has been doing. Now, there are still some question marks about consistent goal scoring, which is something that they need. They are among their top 6 forwards. They are a smaller and lighter group as a whole. They just are. It's what it is. If you're trying to go get size for your top 6, which a guy like Alex Tuck from Buffalo would fill, or a guy like Tage Thompson would fill, which, again, every team around the NHL that's a cup contender is calling those guys being like, hey, what's the price? We all know that's happening. Who's willing to pull the trigger? We know Eric Tolsky is. But, again, in order to get that guy, it does come at a high cost. That's the big question. What are you willing to sacrifice? And that's still something this team needs to figure out. Or maybe we just see the Hurricanes stick with what they got. 30 games into the season, you're sitting at the top of the Eastern Conference. Now, can they be better? Absolutely. There's zero doubt on that. I want to see what this group looks like as a whole, because right now, we still haven't seen it. We just haven't seen it. It's the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Votenecker producing the show today. On the other side, the Carolina Panthers are getting ready to play the New Orleans Saints in a situation that we have not seen this team experience in a long, long time. How does one of their starters, one of their star players, how does he feel about it? We'll have a one-on-one conversation with one of those guys next.
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
Shoot, he scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Troxler, North Carolina Commissioner of Agriculture. Farming's tough, but you're not alone. That's why the North Carolina Agri-Medicine Institute offers the North Carolina Farm Helpline, a free 24/7 resource for the agriculture community. Long hours, difficult decisions, and unexpected challenges can add up. Whether you need to talk to a counselor who understands farming or help with finances, legal questions, or farm safety, call 844-325-3276. That's 844-325-3276. The North Carolina Farm Helpline, a free 24/7 resource for the agriculture community. 844-325-3276. Because no one should face farm life alone.
As we wind down the high school football sports season and head into the holidays, the Governor's Highway Safety Program would like to remind you to buckle your seatbelt when traveling to and from athletic events. Wearing a seatbelt is your best defense against injury or death in a crash. Start the season off right and prioritize your safety by buckling up. Every seat, every time. Remember, click it or ticket. It's the law. This message is brought to you by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association and the Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Open enrollment for health insurance is here, but don't worry. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance has you covered for all your health insurance needs. including Medicare. And with offices in every county, a trusted, experienced agent is just around the corner, ready to help find a plan that's right for you. Visit ncfbins.com or stop by your local office today. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, and you have reached Friday, and it is time to be happy. In fact, FanDuel can feel your vibe. They've got an NBA happy hour that is so happy, it takes 90 minutes to experience it. Here's what happens between 6 and 7:30 p.m. Eastern. FanDuel, limited time specials to get you in the zone. They have boosts, they have bonuses, surprises, all designed to make Fridays extra happy. It's the Friday NBA happy hour and a half. Every Friday, 6 to 7:30 Eastern. Only on FanDuel. FanDuel.com/AGS. FanDuel.com/AGS. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
This season, make the choice to protect what matters most, you and your family. Choose to get vaccinated for the best protection from respiratory illness.
Talking with your provider about vaccines, hand washing, and staying home when sick keep your family protected from the flu, RSV, and COVID.
Defend yourself. Get vaccinated to protect you and your family from respiratory illnesses this season.
Visit myspot.nc.gov to find yours today.
Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
One Adam Gold. One Adam Gold.
Turtle cake? Like, what are we... what?
Isn't that an ice cream?
What? Where's the confetti cake? Because, hello, confetti cake, delicious. With the little, I don't even know if it's real, but the little dots in the icing, like...
None of these are real.
What kind of fake thing that is, but it's delicious. It's my childhood. Like, that wasn't in the top 10. His opinion's invalid to me.
The Adam Gold Show.
Victoria, I say that if we should have cake on Monday if the Panthers win on Sunday.
I'm always down for cake.
You know?
Especially Mondays, coming
little
back.
Victory Monday cake?
Heck yeah.
A little Victory Monday cake. Now, that's the question is, the thing is, you have to earn the Victory Monday cake, which is something that the Carolina Panthers get to do potentially this Sunday. It's not only just get a win on the road at the New Orleans Saints, it gets a divisional rival, maybe that get-back game after that 17-7 loss just a few weeks ago at Bank of America Stadium, but at the same time, you seize control completely of the NFC South. The path is clear for the Panthers to make the playoffs. It is as crystal clear as it has been in a damn near decade. And one of those players... By the way, Dennis Cox in for Adam Gold. I got to remember to keep doing that. Just 48 hours ago, I spoke with, after the Carolina Panthers walked off the practice field on Wednesday, I spoke one-on-one with Ickey Ekwonu, the starting left tackle for the Carolina Panthers, and asked him how they're handling this type of situation. Here's that conversation from 2 days ago. Ickey, let's go and jump right into this. 4 weeks left in the season. You guys are right there in the hunt for the NFC South Championship. How fun is this time for you guys? This is everything you worked all off season for to build up to this point. How fun is it for you all?
I mean, it definitely feels great, being able to play some very, very meaningful ball this late in the season. It's definitely it's an exciting opportunity having everything out there in front of us like that.
Let's go back to the last time you guys were on the field against the Rams. Your defense gets 3 turnovers, including a pick 6 by Mike Jackson. Derek Brown comes with that big sack as well. You also get a couple big-time passing plays from Bryce Young. But the running game also was clicking. It felt like, from the outside perspective, the most complete game that you guys had as a team. How does a win like that against an opponent like the Rams catapult you guys into the bye week, but also just give you guys that momentum for this final push?
I mean, it definitely feels good. Any chance you get to put some great film on tape is going to feel good, and obviously that film's going to carry over week in and week out. But I mean, it definitely just goes to show that we can do it. When we play together, when we play well in all three phases of the game, we're definitely going to like the outcome. So I feel like that was just another example of that.
How do you guys make sure you carry it from week to week?
I mean, just honestly, we kind of have I know me personally, but really everybody has like a 24-hour rule. In terms of, we celebrate, or no matter what, win, lose, draw, come in on Monday, watch the film, evaluate it, talk about it, and then after that, it's kind of flushed. And so, once you kind of flush, you take the good things you take, you learn from the bad things. And once you kind of flush that and, start fresh on Wednesday, it just makes it that much easier to transition to the next opponent. So we've been having a really good schedule. We were able to, celebrate, and glory and wins, and also defeats, being able to learn, pick those lessons from it, and being able to move on.
So with the bye week, having that extra week to get ready for the rest of the season, I know a lot of coaches, I did this back in college, where it was the opportune time to self-scout, learn about yourself. What have you learned about yourself through these first 13 games of the season to get you ready for this final push?
Yeah, well, I mean, I definitely feel like I've gotten better as a player, but also as a teammate this year. So definitely a shout out to the coaching staff, and also the guys we have in this locker room. It's definitely a special group. I feel like we're just getting more and more connected each and every day and each and every week. So that's definitely been something that kind of stood out to me, how close we are as a unit and how much we've all improved.
Well, let's dive into that offensive line unit. It's obviously been yourself, Damian. It's been Cade, Austin, Yash, everyone. There's so many guys that have played for you all this season, but there are 9 of you guys that were brought back from last year. With all the injuries that you guys have had to deal with on the offensive line, it feels like there's a new starting offensive line combination every week. At least it seems that way. But the fact that you had so many guys coming back from last year, how much is that continuity in the locker room and in the film room carried over to help you guys through these troubling times this year with all the injuries?
I mean, it definitely helps. It definitely helps being able to have, a standard of culture that everybody's already had a year, in the program with. So it's definitely been fortunate, just the way that guys have stepped up, in tough situations, middle of the game, when you might not think you're going to have to get in at all. First drive of the game, some guys having to step in and play the rest of the game against, very tough, formidable defenses. So definitely been impressive. Definitely a huge testament to those guys being able to step up. And, I think it goes to show the type of standard we've created.
I think it was, I remember correctly, I think it was the Green Bay game when Damian went down just a couple plays in, but then he came back into the contest. Just how tough is that dude playing next to him? How tough is that dude? Just not only just physically, mentally, just that guy lining up next to you game in and game out.
Nice, tough dude. Definitely, definitely a lead by example kind of guy. And definitely been very fortunate to be able to play beside him these last couple of years.
What have you learned from him? Obviously, he spent time in Seattle before coming over to Carolina. What have you picked up from him just in terms of what he experienced in a different system, a different organization? What have you picked up from playing next to him?
I mean, for me, just looking at D-Lou's film, he's never rattled out there. No matter what happens during the play, before the play, he's always has a cool head about him, and he's always just slow to process. He's always just taking things as they come. So that's definitely a part of my game that I wanted to improve on. People like to change the look, sometime right before the snap, or sometimes you might be a little late off the snap count. Just little stuff like that might get you off your rhythm. Being able to kind of refocus, mid-play and after the play, and being able to kind of tune back in is something I definitely learn from him.
I think you bring up a really good point in terms of the mental aspect of sports, because we only see, from the outside watching on TV or watching in the stadium, we just see the physical things that comes along those lines. Where have you felt like from, again, learning from Damian Lewis, but also you talked about where you've improved as a player. How have you improved in that regard on the stuff that's intangible between the ears in terms of maybe it's not just necessarily understanding assignments or beating defenses, but maybe not getting rattled if you have a bad rep?
Yeah. I mean, it's just that, just the more and more I play in this league and the more and more, I'm around those type of guys and, the type of the coaching staff we have here, the more comfortable I've been getting. And, I feel like that kind of goes for a lot of different players, but I've just been really fortunate to have the time to be able to grow and develop and just, have the game slow down for me. And I feel like this year, especially, the game has slowed down a lot and I'm able to process things just that much quicker.
All right, a couple more questions for you. Again, I know you're getting ready for the Saints and all that this coming weekend. The two running backs that you guys have in the locker room have both been affected with Chuba and with Rico, and they both have a little bit of a different playing style. Do you have to, in some way, shape, or form, I guess for lack of a better term, if Chuba's in the backfield versus Rico or vice versa, and there's a run play call that's might be running your direction, does their style of play impact how you approach a certain play? But maybe you're anticipating, all right, Rico might hit the hole with a little bit more speed. Chuba might be a little bit more patient, whatever it might be. How does that impact just on a play-to-play basis for you? Just curious.
Honestly, it doesn't impact me. I know just with the guys we got in that backfield, like all I got to do is I do my job, I do my part. I get a little bit of movement. That's all they need. And those guys are going to hit that gap hard. And those guys are some of the hardest runners and the most competitive guys I've met. So definitely been fortunate having them being able to share the locker room with me and, be in that running back room. It's definitely been fortunate. But any chance you get to block for guys like that, you're going to be happy.
All right, final thing for Ickey Ekwonu, left tackle for the Carolina Panthers. I know a lot of everyone's going to say the week-to-week approach, but everyone's human. I know a lot of people are going to look and say, I know when I played lacrosse in college, it was easy to look like, okay, if we beat that team and they lose to that team, we're going to be this spot in the standings and all that kind of stuff. How difficult is it to block that stuff out, to focus on just a week-to-week?
I mean, I feel like just the nature of the game, it's kind of hard to be able to play at your best when you have so many things, going through your head. So honestly, it makes the job that much easier for me, knowing that all I got to focus on 1 week at a time. Just got to stack one day at a time, building towards Sunday 1 week at a time, and then flush it again and start over. It kind of, especially with the season being as long as it is, it definitely helps you stay focused and, just stay that much more relaxed and, that much more dedicated. So yeah, honestly, I like the mindset we have here, being able to flush it and being 1-0 every week.
Awesome. Ickey, thanks for your time. Best of luck this weekend. Really do appreciate it.
No doubt. I appreciate y'all.
Big thanks again to Ickey Ekwonu. Again, that conversation was from a couple of days ago on a podcast I co-host with Chris Lee from WREL TV in Raleigh, a Panthers Playbook. So subscribe to that wherever you get your podcast, wherever we can watch on YouTube, which, by the way, you can watch on 99.9 The Fan. Search 99.9 The Fan on YouTube, or you can search The Adam Gold Show or Panthers Playbook. It's all under the umbrella of 99.9 The Fan, which is the flagship station for The Adam Gold Show. So that's where you can discover not just Panthers Playbook, but also if you miss any of the content from this show, you can actually watch the entire show streamed directly from there. So plenty of opportunities for you to enjoy it. But also, if you just want to listen, you can take the 99.9 The Fan app with you wherever you go. You can download the 99.9 The Fan app. If you have an iPhone, just go on the Apple Store, on the App Store, or Google Play Store if you have an Android, and just search 99.9 The Fan. Download the 99.9 The Fan app. It's free. You can stream the station 24/7. There are podcast episodes, videos you can watch in there, blog posts, all kinds of stuff, all right there in one spot for you. So make sure you go check it out, including conversations we have, Victoria, about the Carolina Panthers. There are three things I think that we are going to figure out about this Panthers team this Sunday. Some of them tangible, some of them intangible. The first thing I want to see from a tangible aspect from this team, can they generate more of a consistent pass rush? That's the thing that I want to see from this team. Can they generate a more consistent pass rush as a team? The Panthers through 13 games have 18 sacks as a whole. 18. Myles Garrett of the Cleveland Browns has more than that himself. Now, I know Myles Garrett's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day, but still, you would think, or at least hopefully as a team, would have more than 18 sacks at this point in the season. Also, 6 of them have come, or did come, against the New York Jets earlier this season. So literally 1/3 of your sack total came against the New York Jets, one of the worst teams in football. Can this team generate a consistent pass rush? Derek Brown leads the team in sacks with 4. Nick Scorton, the second-round pick out of Texas A&M, is second on the team in 3. Princely Umamielon, the third-round pick out of Florida, 1.5 sacks. DJ Wanham, who started this season and has been the starting outside linebacker for this team this whole season, DJ Ekwonu, outside of maybe like a little bit of time missed, but he's played 69% of the snaps this season, DJ Ekwonu has. Not a single sack on record. Not a single sack. Their sack percentage is still one of the lowest in the entire NFL. It's below 5%. So it's not just total of sacks, because you also look at number of opportunities with number of dropbacks by opposing teams. So sack percentage is one of the lowest in the NFL. Their pressure rate is one of the lowest in the NFL in terms of not just getting hits on the quarterback or hurries on the quarterback or quarterback knockdowns, sacks, those kinds of things. It's one of the lowest in the NFL. It's below 15% as a team. They have to find ways to continue to generate pressure, or at least hopefully they've discovered something that they can adjust during their bye week, during their self-scout, that they can actually tangibly get more pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Because we saw against the Rams a couple of weeks ago, Derek Brown, late in the game, fourth quarter, just over 2 minutes to play, he gets pressure on Matthew Stafford on a 3rd and 10, has a strip sack of Stafford that DJ Ekwonu recovered. By the way, in the last 3 years, the Carolina Panthers have only had 4 strip sacks as a defense. There was the Derek Brown one that I just mentioned a moment ago from week 13 against the Rams on Matthew Stafford. The other one was week 14 of last season, where it was DJ Ekwonu had a strip sack of Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles. The one before that was week 2 against the LA Chargers last year. It was DJ Johnson and Jaden Peavy combining for a strip sack of Justin Herbert. And then it was the 3rd play of the 2023 season at the Atlanta Falcons, where Brian Burns strip sacked Desmond Ridder, but Atlanta jumped on the football on that one. Only 4 strip sacks in the last 3 seasons from this defense. Now there's been several areas where the defense has improved so far this season. Their points per game. Last year, they gave up 31.4 points per game. This season, they're allowing 22.8. So literally 8 plus, like slightly more than 8 points per game better defensively. That's a massive improvement. They're at 15th in the NFL in that regard, at 22.8. Massive improvement from dead last in the league. Their rushing yards per game is improved by nearly 50 yards per game. But also their turnover rate is increased exponentially. Last year, they averaged about 1 turnover per game in terms of turnovers forced. This year, it's at 1.3. So there's more volume of turnovers as well. So they have improved in so many different areas, but the pass rush is still a lacking point for this team. Can they find ways to manufacture some pass rush this Sunday to make things uncomfortable for Tyler Shuck? Let's not forget, Tyler Shuck, the game against the Panthers at Bank of America Stadium, sat comfortable in that pocket. Let's see this defense, Evero, Canales, put some pressure on opposing teams.
I hope
Please. So that's the first one, Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is, can Dave Canales consistently stick to a run game? It's like $1 million question.
Dave Canales and inconsistent usually don't go in the same sentence. That's the problem.
I think Dave Canales and inconsistent, unfortunately, have been going in the same sentence too often.
Yes, inconsistent.
Yeah,
for sure.
inconsistent.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can they consistently stick to a running game? I thought the offensive game plan that they had as a whole against the Rams, which to me was very similar to the offensive game plan that they had against Green Bay. Against the Green Bay Packers, the Packers only had 7 offensive possessions the entire game. You leaned heavily on the run game. That was Rico Dowdle had 150 yards in that game. Bryce Young, it was subpar in that game. But you leaned heavily on the run game. You also got turnovers by your defense. And you controlled the clock. You controlled the ball. And you kept the opposing team's offense on the sideline. We saw against the Rams In the second half, I guess in the third quarter specifically, the Rams only ran 3 offensive plays in the third quarter. Just 3. The Panthers held the ball for over 35 minutes in that game. They ran the ball effectively. Now, there was a moment in the game where they had a long drive that went well over 8 minutes, but Jatavian Sanders got called for a holding call, which I thought was a terrible call, pushed them out of field goal range, and then they unfortunately had to punt the ball. But they held on to the ball so long that it just kept the Rams off the field. It was that ball control style of offense. Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle combined for 35 carries in that game. Chuba carried the ball 17, Rico carried the ball 18, and Chuba was the better back in that game, and I have no problem with that. You could ride the hot hand, but Chuba got the volume that he needed to get going, and Rico was still effective. Now, Chuba was better. That's fine. But it was the commitment to the run game, and it's not a coincidence that the effectiveness of the run game made things easier, especially, hey, let's 4th and 2, 4th and 3, or 4th and 4. Let's go for it to pick up these first downs. In which case, you popped off for 2 big touchdowns on 4th down. Of the third down attempts that they had in that game, there was 15 of them. 9 of them were 5 yards or less. On a third down, it's completely manageable. And that's the situation that they put themselves in. But again, it all started with a commitment with the run game and then sticking with it, something that he didn't do against the 49ers. The third thing is, how well or how much did this Panthers team learn from their loss against the Saints earlier this season? And not just the sense of because that's who their opponent is this week. They had that massive win against Green Bay the week before they played the Saints. And a lot of us thought maybe this is the turning point moment for this Panthers team. Maybe this is the turning point moment for David Canales and the offense and the team as a whole, that culture-building win that can springboard this team forward. And then they go out against the Saints and they lose 17-7 and they completely laid an egg. And they come back, big win against the Falcons. And you come back and you lose against the 49ers. But you come back and you have the big win against the Rams. This could be the culture-turning victory that launches this Panthers team to an NFC South title. You had a bye week, and then you have the Saints coming up. How well mentally are they going to be prepared for this coming Sunday? The NFC South, it's right there for them for the taking. They can literally grab it, the bull by the horns. Not literally, it's no real bull. But you know what I'm saying. Go take the NFC South title. Seattle Gold Show. For Victoria, I'm Dennis. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, and we are at Friday. You know what that means? No, it means something else. It means happy hour, NBA happy hour, and it's so happy at FanDuel.